How are we doing today? Waiting for people to pop in. We got an ad break going on the Twitch end of things, which nobody watches the Twitch end of things anyway. So, there's that. Shout out to the 0 viewers. 0 viewers on Twitch. Maybe 1, maybe 2 on a good day. I'm gonna give some people some time to get in, so just bear with me. Also, I don't know how I did this, but this is like a perfect loop. I don't know, just like the way that it was cut or something. I think I reversed it, actually. No, it's just a perfect loop. Probably because I went back to the original position when I started. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's right, I was muted the whole time. We got the professor. Welcome, everyone, to Danganronpa Another Chapter 3, Part 2. We haven't even gotten to the body discovery announcement. That's how long it's taken. I want to turn down the volume just a little bit. Oh boy. Okay, we want to give him that red book, right? So this should be FTE 2. The legendary red book. Alright. Is there a girl you like, Yuki? I don't know, maybe. I can't think of anyone for now. Then have you gone out with anyone before? Not even once. Ha, I knew it. Of course a normie dweeb like Mr. Yuki Maeda right here won't have one. He probably wasn't trying to provoke me, but I'm starting to get a bit pissed off. My pride as a man is under attack. So what? Do you have yourself a girlfriend yourself, Haruhiko? Yeah, of course I did. Wait, really? For a single day. Hey, but still, I practically earned a doctorate degree in the art of love. Thus, I shall undertake the great duty of teaching you the ways of love, my innocent dweeby apprentice. Even though you got dumped in a single day? Damn it. Didn't you just say that you dated only one person for a single day? You can barely get the certificate of completion with that, Haru. Shut up. I've dated more girls than you anyway, so I'm the one more experienced in romance. And by the way, how'd you even manage to date that girl, Haruhiko? Here's what happened. Apparently her ideal type of man was a pilot. It would have been dumb not to go for it, so I decided to make the first move and ask her out. I was surprised when she gladly said yes. But then she dumped me because I was a brainless wimp. In less than a day, she started calling me a cowardly idiot that's obsessed with girls. God, the hell was wrong with her? Whoever she was, I feel you. Still, dumping a guy in a day after happily accepting him, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? That girl might have been pretty, but I don't care anymore. Girls at her school are way hotter. Alrighty then. I'm gonna go out with one of them and show that feisty girl she missed out on the real deal. So Yuki, let's get going and organize a group date. Can I leave now? Haha, you fool! Hold up. Wait, let me play that. You fool! You have committed the most famous of classic blunders, of which one simply cannot choose to escape. Haruhiko Kobushikawa. Oh no. Here he goes again. I genuinely don't care about dating that much. I barely escaped Haru after listening to hours of his preaching about romance and dating. Haruhiko Kobushikawa's report card was updated in the e-handbook. Oh, Kurokawa. Did you... Not sure what this is asking. Are you weary today? Is it alright to move now? I don't know. I don't know what this means, honestly. Yes. Oh, thank God. Oh, like, are you moving around now? Not just being in one location? Okay. Something like that. Oh, thank God, but you came out of your room after a long time. So it's already late this night. I guess you'll have to get back in to your room. Haha. Hello, Crimean bloke. I assume you're out in Europe, because I've never heard anyone out of the UK use the word bloke, so I'm gonna assume, yeah. I tend to have my stream earlier on weekends, so it's a little bit easier for Europeans to watch. Yeah, figures. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't stream this time. I'm at work on Fridays, so I've been. But this is kind of like my standard time for streaming. It's normally like about half an hour from now. But I started it even earlier just to because I know this is going to be a really long chapter, so I'm gonna try and get it done and the rest of it in one stream if I can. We haven't even gotten to the body discovery announcement though, so I might have to break it up into 3 parts. We'll see. Yeah. Are you going to the dormitory? Let's go together. I'm about to go back right now. Yes. Do we have the motive reveal? We did have the motive reveal. It's the one about the desires. So, their greatest desire will happen and will be rewarded to them if they escape and graduate. It's awkward. Even though her response has been notable, she's like a kid who doesn't speak any more than she should compared to the general public. Oh, that's right. Hey, Kurokawa, the secret note that was the last motive. That was also a mix of lies, right? Another reason I'm convinced that the ridiculous note I know the mastermind is a lie is because of Kurokawa's note. Oh, right. I'm sorry about opening the note. I was really curious about it. You probably won't forgive me after saying to stop. Really sorry. The details don't really matter. You sure? Can you tell me if it's okay? Kurokawa seems to know best. If the note is a lie or not. Well, of course, if you don't have to talk if you don't want to. It's probably a lie if I ask someone else if they know about me. I wouldn't talk about it. That note is... Wow. Kurokawa, what is it? My head, it hurts again. Oh, don't worry about it. After all, it would be better to take a break in the rooms today. Now, let's get in quickly. You don't need to talk anymore. Yeah. Huh. What are they doing? Uh-oh. A scream. What? Why is someone screaming? Kurokawa! Damn, what happened? I have to check. Tyra? What's going on? Is that blood? Blackened. Maeda, Kurokawa, don't be dazed. Tyra, stop. Let me go. What happened? Wake up already. Tyra, she slit her wrist with scissors. What? You tried to kill yourself? I'm going to die. A trash like me must die. I want to die. Don't disturb me. What kind of strength is this? Let go. Maeda, let go of me. Take it easy. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to kill yourself, Tyra? I'm going to Ayame-chan's side. What? I have to go to Ayame-chan and apologize. I just can't be alive anymore. Don't be ridiculous. It's been 4 days already since Atano died. What are you saying? I saw Ayame-chan in the video yesterday. She was blaming me. Ayame-chan died because of me. Oh, I don't know if she's not really allowed to say what's in the Desire video, right? Interesting. Hatano appeared in the Desire video. I wonder if she'll get consequences from Monokuma now. That stupid Monokuma. They're trying to play with us like this. Calm down, Tyra. There's no way Hatano blames you. That video was manipulated by Monokuma. No, Ayame-chan is blaming me. She said that even if I die, she wouldn't forgive me. I have to go to the other side and apologize to Ayame-chan. There's no other way. Damn it. It doesn't work no matter what I say to her. She's completely ruined. What should I do in this situation? Tie her up. Just like you did, well, just like everyone did with Nagito after the first chapter. Tie her up. You can't trust her. Handcuff her. Handcuff her if you have to. Maeda, move away. Wake up, Akane Taira. Don't you know why Hatano died? Hatano's last words? The words that she delivered to you? You remember them, right? Last words. I want you to live. You do not understand the meaning of those last words she left to you at all. Hatano died to save you, but if you commit the act you're about to do, what do you believe that means to Hatano? After talking about this, are you still in conflict? Was this the kind of person you always were? Tell me, Akane Taira. Nikako-chan. Akane Taira is not that kind of person. You are. You are so much more. Taira. Mikako-chan? Kurokawa! Mikako-chan, what's wrong? Wake up. Why did she collapse? We gotta get her out of here. Come to think of it, she said she wasn't feeling well today. Don't you think this happened because she was pushing herself again? Anyway, let's move Mikako-chan to her private dorm as soon as possible. Suddenly, Kurokawa collapsing. We left Taira behind and we put Kurokawa back on her in her private bedroom. Have you been considering Mikako bot? You're gonna have to explain that one. I don't know what that is. Hey guys. I'm so sorry. I guess I was out of my mind. How Ayame-chan saved my life. I was trying to throw it away. That's not enough. I even bothered you guys too. I'm really sorry for being a burden to everyone. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay, Taira. Because everyone understands your feelings. That's right. I could have killed myself too. You idiot. How is that comforting? Mikako being a robot. Oh, like a theory? Programmed by the mastermind, hence the whole speech thing? I wasn't really thinking that. I was just thinking that her character was like dark and gloomy and like, you know, she didn't like to talk much. It's possible, I guess. I don't really tend to theorize much when I play these games to kind of just experience them for what they are. Because I find that these games tend to have a habit of warping your expectations and turning on those. So, I just play along. You idiot, how is any of that comforting? That was pretty scary. Don't do that again. Hey, what about before? You said we shouldn't say what we saw in our motives. Is it okay now? Doesn't seem like anything, though. I don't think we should worry too much. That's right. Even so, everyone who aren't here will be happy to see our grown-up Taira. Interesting, interesting. I'll keep that in mind for the sequel. Yes, I'm really sorry, and thank you. And, it's already been 4 days. Maybe it's too late. But I'll try hard again. I hope you all can accept me once again. Of course, no one blames you, so don't worry. Hi, this is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m., which means nighttime has begun. Soon, the restaurant will be locked for the rest of the day. Have a good dream and a good night. Oh, time has already slipped by. I'm sorry. I wasted your time on me for nothing. Tyra, you don't need to keep apologizing, okay? It's not like you at all. You were not such a timid girl. I mean, the Akane Tyra that we know is positive, and she always has a bright face, too. Oh, alright. Okay, hey guys, it's already nighttime, so then let's go to bed now. Agreed. I'm a little anxious because of the motives, but we can all gather together tomorrow to talk. Let's call everyone, even Kinjo, Mikado, and Uehara. Yeah, Satsuki is feeling a little sleepy already. Okay, everyone have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. No, not really. Not really. The thing about Danganronpa games is that I've always been punished historically for making predictions and theorizing. Like, we have Taira and Kurokawa, who are like the obvious indicators, but I don't know. It could be a red herring for all I know. I think chances are one of those two will probably die this chapter. But I mean, both of them seem pretty important to the story, so I'm kind of hoping not. I think it would be pretty disappointing for them to die this chapter, so I'm hoping both of them are still alive. We'll see. Taira finally made up her mind. Her guilt and regrets for Hitano will not be forgotten in her memory for a lifetime. We are on chapter 3 of Danganronpa Another. We have yet to get to the body discovery announcement, but I imagine it's around the corner. Even so, Taira is trying to move forward. This is after, well after the motive. Yeah, we'll see. I hope not. I don't want it to be like that, but I think that's possible. Still, even so, Taira is trying to move forward. That kind of action can never be done if you're on your own. But because Tyra's with everyone, she'll be able to regain her spirit. Now then, let's go to bed early today. Fortunately, it's not too late because a murder didn't happen after the motive came out as usual. Yeah, I'm about like 4.5 hours into this chapter. Yeah. I don't necessarily mind like direction in chat. If I get stuck anywhere, that's fine. I'm mostly thinking about like story, like anything that's like crucial to the story. Like try and keep that under wraps because I am going into this blind as much as possible. I have been spoiled by chat in the past, and then those accounts have been like immediately banned. But I'm talking like someone just deliberately, their first message was trying to spoil me and trying to ruin it for everybody. Even if it's difficult for tomorrow, well, I'll get back her spirit little by little. I wonder if Kurokawa will be alright. I guess we'll know at tomorrow's breakfast. Today, I'm gonna be sleepy. Before we parted, I briefly explained to Taira about Hitano's post-class trial. Let's sleep peacefully tonight. Oh right, about Kurokawa's secret note. Mikako Kurokawa may actually be talkative. Maybe it is true. Night. I'm relieved that Taira managed to wake herself up from her mind. Of course, this is not the end yet. The fact that we are in Hope's Peak Academy has not changed, and we have to find a way out somehow. And with those thoughts, I fell asleep fast. Hello, you guys. It's morning, 7 o'clock. Wake up time. Let's have a lively day, too. Yeah. Also, one of my mods does this in chats, but when he posts a fake spoiler, he literally adds at the end of his message in parentheses, "This is a lie." So I would appreciate it if you guys did something like that, just so that way if I like glance over, I'm not like worrying like, is that an actual spoiler or not? If you have "this is a lie" at the end of your message in like parentheses or something, that'll make it a lot more clear for me, because I'm like panning back and forth and I'll often just briefly glance at messages. First, let's go to the dining room. I'll be with them at breakfast this morning. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just like that. Hello. Maeda-kun. Hello, you've arrived early. In the dining room. There was a bright Tyra smiling. Yes. Did you guys sleep well? Maybe it's because Tyra is getting lively again, but I'm feeling way better than yesterday. I'm always in a happy mood here. I wonder what's up with the others. They haven't come yet. Did Maeda-kun come too soon? It's just 7:10. Is that so? Well, let's wait until we all gather together. I'm sure a few more will be stopping by. Oh boy, it's always hard to wake up early in the morning. Kobushikawa-kun, good morning. Tyra, alright. You feel all better now? Akane Tyra feels like she got a complete resurrection, huh? It's gotta be. Seeing Tyra's bright smile and starting the day like this gives you a lot of energy. That's a complete black art. It's not. All I'm saying is that I'm happy that my colleague returned to normal is all. The other guys aren't here, right? Yeah, but it's a little bit different. Kanata-chan was always at the restaurant before me. Even the others will be happy to see Tyra's smile once again. Oh yeah, today I have a suggestion for you guys. I'll say it once again, once everyone arrives. Suggestion? Yeah, after breakfast, Kinjo, Mikado, and Uehara will gather together to discuss with us. A meeting about what? I don't really like those other guys. Well, when Maki was still alive, Kinjo gathered everyone and made an intermediate report. This time the motives already came out, so I'd like to gather everyone for opinions. Just making sure my ringer's off. I recorded my video yesterday, and I had my ringer go off for text messages during the recording. So I had to edit that out this morning. Alright, this time the motives have already come out, so I'd like to gather everyone for opinions. Oh, I see. Maeda-kun, that's amazing. I recall Kinjo doing those meetings, and I haven't seen that in a hot minute. That's because not long ago he was neglected by saying things no one supported. But we can't do that anymore. It's all in the past, isn't it? I mean, we believe in Maeda now. Well, it certainly seems that Tyra has regained some vitality in her eyes. Since we have such a bright person like her, it must have conveyed onto everyone that positivity. By the way, it's getting late for the others. What time is it now? Around 7:30. Is this simply over-worrying? I mean, they're human, so there may be times that this could happen, but what's this anxiety we're feeling? Let's wait a bit more patiently. I'm sure they'll be here soon. Yeah, okay. No, this is absolutely not over-worrying. Even if I'm wrong, something is not right. Everyone in the dining room gradually began to notice the detail. It's getting late. It's already 8 o'clock. What in the world happened? Let's stay still for a moment. Who isn't here yet? Kinjo, Mikado, Uehara, Kurokawa, Yamaguchi, and Inori. You don't have to mention Kinjo. It's already 8 AM and no one's come yet. I'm sorry for being late. Mikako-chan, is your health okay? Yes, but it's been a while. I was too late. I'm sorry. Kurokawa, have you seen anyone besides us when you came here? What happened? Here. Mikako-chan, don't you think it's weird? You came this late, but we're the only ones that arrived in the dining room? Hey, is it okay if we keep waiting like this? Something seems off. Isn't it better if we go and find the others? Yeah, I agree. We should look. Yeah, then let's start by looking for Yamaguchi and Inori first. Somehow this feeling, it feels like... It's a feeling that seems like everything is already too late. Inori, are you inside? If you are, please answer me. This is weird. Yamaguchi's silent too. I don't think both of them are in their rooms. Where did they even go this time? If it's not the dormitory, let's check the school. I think it's best to hurry. Yeah, Kurokawa was right. Guys, let's go find them on the school side. I tried not to let this anxiety get over myself and decided to stay calm and look for them in the school with everyone. Yeah, bear with me. I'm not going to be looking at chat for a bit. I just kind of want to experience this on my own. I always check for like the bookcase first, just to see if anyone made an attempt at the stairs. Okay, probably the 3rd floor then. There seems to be no one on the 1st floor. I think it would be better to go to the 2nd floor. Well, actually, the infirmary is probably open, right? Okay, nothing here. Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and check the 2nd floor. I heard someone screaming on the 2nd floor. Was Satsuki wrong? Maybe. Oh! Uehara, wake up. Uehara is dead? Uehara, how did this happen? But we didn't get like the cutscene, so maybe he's not dead yet. We didn't get the body discovery announcement either. So maybe he was just attacked? Or attacked? Maeda, I don't really know myself. I came to the 2nd floor and Uehara was down on the floor like this. What's all this? What? Uehara? Are you dead? He's still breathing. Yeah, I figured. Ugh. Uehara, are you okay? This is... what happened to me? Hey Uehara, what happened to you? Why'd you get hurt like this? I was definitely heading to the library at night. Does anyone know what time it is right now? It's been roughly... I think it's around 8:15. Uehara-kun, let's wipe the blood off first. Here's a handkerchief. Thank you. By the way, Tyra, it seems you're getting better. Are you okay now? Yes. Thanks to the others, I've made up my mind. Somehow. We can talk about that later. More importantly, what the hell happened here? Uehara, who did this to you? I'm sorry. I don't know either. I remember walking towards the library at night, but suddenly I felt a pain in my head from behind. I can't remember. That means someone attacked Uehara? Well, I guess, but attacking like this is enough to stun someone. It doesn't mean a kill. Yeah, this wasn't a kill attempt. But this could mean a tragedy is about to happen again. A motive breaks someone's mind and enforces the worst act to try and commit a murder. Wait, where are the others? Where's Kinjo, Mikado, Inori, and Yamaguchi? Probably on the 3rd floor. What? That sounds like... I heard it on the 3rd floor. 3rd floor. Something else happened upstairs. We should probably stay together as a group. Because... I don't know if the murder actually happened yet. Or if this is like... trying to bait someone. I would be very suspicious of this. So I would definitely want to stay as a group. Because it's very hard for a murderer not to get caught if everyone's just in a group together. Damn it, what should I do? I haven't properly checked the whole 2nd floor yet, and I'm worried about Uehara's condition. You guys, are you looking for the others who didn't arrive at morning's breakfast? Yeah, I'm not sure about Kenjo, but we can't see Inori or we didn't see Inori or Yamaguchi. What happened? Maybe it has something to do with the sound on the 3rd floor. I'll help you guys too. Please let me join your search. I promise I will look at chat after the body discovery announcement. I'm just like locked in. But Uehara, aren't you hurt? Will your body handle it? This degree won't be an issue. It's just a slight bump on the back of my head. There's no problem at all. Oh, you said you didn't see Inori? In that case, I needed Inori's ability to get the appropriate treatment, so finding her remains the same objective. That's true. What the hell is that noise? It's terrifying. I don't know what it is, but I think we should move quickly. So let's divide into 2 groups. I'm also very suspicious of Uehara, just because, like, I know how Danganronpa 1 Chapter 3 went. So let's divide into 2 groups. One group will investigate the 3rd floor. Oh man, yep, I'm getting a lot of flashbacks from that chapter. The other will investigate the 2nd floor. Yeah, I think this would be good. I'll stay on the 2nd floor and investigate. I'll stay on the 2nd floor too. I'm kind of scared of that sound or whatever it is. I'll be in the 3rd floor group. I'll stay on the 2nd floor. The 2nd floor is wider than the 3rd, so wouldn't it need more people? I'll stay on the 2nd floor too. There's too many of you guys staying on the 2nd floor. Then the rest are going to the 3rd floor with me, Uehara, Maeda. Come to the 3rd floor with us. I didn't get to say anything, but I felt pretty determined. Well, it doesn't matter. Now, somehow, we have to quickly secure everyone's status on each room and identify who attacked Uehara. I think everyone should just go up to the 3rd floor. Honestly. If it's decided, then let's move. I feel uneasy about something. If you find the others, come down here and let us know. Be careful, everyone. I decided to go up to the 3rd floor with Kurokawa and Uehara following along. Oh, the suspense has really been building. On the 3rd floor, we can see clearly it's in the art room. It certainly is. Well, maybe someone is just going ham and carving a statue or something right now. And that's what's making all the noise. It certainly is. So what are we doing? In addition to that art room, I'll have to do a survey elsewhere. Then shall we act separately here? I'll take a look into the art room. You guys have a look somewhere else. It doesn't matter, but be careful. Maybe the person who attacked me could be here. Honestly, I don't want to believe it. That is one of us. But we already experienced it twice. The people you've been living with, they try to kill each other. I'll be okay. Just check what the sound is. Now then, let's move. The origin of the sound is here. It seems no one has found it yet. Well, let's first find out what that sound really is. I'm gonna assume the rest of us are here. Checking that locker. Nothing with the statue. What about the Monokuma statue? No? This is terrifying. What is making it shake like that? That is crazy. It's like an earthquake. Okay, we'll just select whatever we can. I'll find it eventually. Did I select that guy? Yeah, maybe. Check the lockers. Unless there's like a hidden door somewhere. Oh! Oh, it's this one. This locker. Okay. There's no doubt. This loud sound is coming from inside of the locker. My heart rate is escalating. An unknown sound and the fear. But more than that, curiosity. I wanted to see what was inside of it. And when I opened the door of the locker, there was... Mikaru! And she's not dead. She's just tied up and bloody. Mikaru. She was in a state where the usual neat and refined look was off. Her hair was loose, the blouse was loose, and the glasses were sprawled, and her whole body was bound. That loud sound was made by Mikaru? Why are you like this? Who did this? Oh, this is very interesting. There is so much buildup to the body discovery here. And this is clearly like an elaborate setup. Not only that, Mikaru was bloody. At first, I thought she was like Uehara, but when I looked closely, it looked like this blood wasn't coming from Mikaru. It was from a bloody cloth that was buried inside the locker. Okay, I'll release you now, so don't move too much. Ah, man, you know, I'm afraid it's gonna be another double kill. It's always been a double kill in Chapter 3. Maybe not right away, but we usually have 2 victims, so I'm actually terrified. Mikaru, what happened here? Before that, give me your right hand. Okay. Come on, shut up quickly and show me your right hand. I couldn't tell why, but I pressed my right hand onto Mikaru's hand without delay. Mikaru took a while, wrapping her right hand with my own and observing for something. It's not you either. Mikaru, why did you need my right hand? Nothing you need to know. More importantly, incompetent, tell me what time it is, and what's the current situation right now? What? She was incarcerated while being bound by someone? And she's asking about the situation as if it's normal to her. Well, it's hers, so I guess it's not so random. I think it's roughly 8:25 right now. We got people together for breakfast, but there were a few people unusually late, and we began to start looking for them. Apparently, your gang is you, Akane Taira, Haruhiko Kobushikawa, Teruya Otori, Satsuki Iranami, Mikako Kurakawa, Kanata Inori, and Kakeru Yamaguchi, was it? Yes. Who else was missing? In the group we were having breakfast, but Inori and Yamaguchi were missing. And then we found Uehara on the 2nd floor. Kinjo is still missing. The doctor and lawyer. Also, if I may ask, Mikaru, what happened to you? I never expected you to be in such a situation. Shut up. Forget everything you saw, it's embarrassing. Yeah, it was definitely my fault. I didn't realize I was going to be targeted so sudden. You were attacked by who? Well, you'll soon find out who it is. The one who dared to touch me. I'll leave them with the greatest regret in their life. What's this bloody locker about? This blood isn't from Mikaru, right? You don't know? Hey, we don't have the time to be chatting. When I heard the situation from you, I believe this is the very climax moment I'm going to investigate. Mikaru, wait a minute. She's going off on her own. Damn it, what the hell is going on? Well, at least I've confirmed that Mikaru is safe, so let's go find the others. I guess we just check the other rooms on the 3rd floor? Mikaru, hang on a second. What else do you want? I don't have the luxury to talk to you right now, you hear me? Can't you figure out the situation already? That's not it, I just wanted to know what Mikaru was doing last night. Wow, I know how stupid you are, but if you don't feel sorry for your friend's life, Then you don't mind running around and talking to me right now. What does that mean? A life? I would... No way. It was uncertain in my voice, but in my mind I finally understood word by word. Uehara being attacked by someone, Makara imprisoned, and a bloody locker. The puzzle was completed with all the conditions set to the worst possible outcome. And right after that... What is this? Someone scream. We really should have stayed together as a group. Maeda. Mikaro, I found one. Kurokawa. Uh-oh, I found one. That's not something you want to hear in Danganronpa. That's not a phrase you want to hear. It seems you encountered some problems. Definitely. Please, help me. To the science lab. You need my help? Why in the science lab? Looks like something happened. Since it's an emergency, I'll help you out. Move. Yes. Kurokawa's complexion didn't look so good, and that made me even more anxious. I really wonder what's going on. What's happening in the science lab? Could it be related to that scream earlier? Maeda, you're here. Looks like you found Mikaro too. I want to ask about what happened, about that sound, but for now, we have a bigger issue on our hands. Also, as you may have guessed, Kurokawa went to the casino and I tried to investigate the science lab, but the door wouldn't open. I heard a scream in the science lab while trying to open the door. Maeda, help us here. The four of us joined forces and pushed the door of the science lab, but it didn't budge. It felt different from simply being locked with a padlock. It was as if something was blocking the door. I can't. It's not moving at all. What do we do? Should we go back with the others? On the second floor? But we heard a scream in here. Are we going to just leave it at that? We can't just give up. A shock. Another scream. Who is it and what's going on in there? This might be the most cruel killing we've gotten so far. That sound. Can you hear it? Can you just, like, break the damn windows open or something? When I listened to Kurokawa's words and focused on the sounds the science lab made, I heard a strange and unusual sound. Also, block the door. Don't let anybody out. The killer's probably in there. This is a water sound, isn't it? Water. It sounds like something is flowing when I hear it. Oh, shit. Water and electricity don't mix, man. This is bad. What do we do if the door doesn't open? Is it all in vain? Hey, come here for a minute, you people. Mikaro pointed and looked closely at the blurry window on the door of the science lab. You stupid fools. The sliding door is blocked with something from the inside. It'll never open. I thought it was weird, but I also thought that something was wrong. They blocked it with something. Are you saying the inside is closed, but then it would even be more difficult to open the door? It's like barricaded. That's not gonna happen. Okay, so she broke the window, right? Yeah. Yeah, as Mikaro said that, she then raised her elbow to the door of the science lab to break the window. Mikaro, are you sure you can do that? Is it not considered vandalism? It's okay. The vandalism is caused by force majeure, which involves in the incident. Okay. Little bit of a funky translation there. In Monokuma's eyes, that is. As she said that, she put her arm inside the broken window, shoving that thing that was blocking the door. Can't you do something as simple as this, incompetent ones? Now it's unlocked. Open it. Oh boy, here we go. Like Mikaro said, the door to the science lab opened with a sound, and the first thing we discovered was... What is this? Water. When I opened the door to the science lab, a lot of water flowed from the inside. Oh man. They just won't give the reveal. It's just build up, build up, build up, build up, build up. Not that I mind, but this is really keeping you on your toes for sure. The inside was full of water, and when we entered the room, it was in a watery state, so at least your ankles were submerged. The water in the science lab is... What's going on? When we were trying to check the state of the room. Don't go in. Stay away from the water. Electricity, right? Makaro shouted urgently in a serious mood, and I unknowingly stood away from the water pit on the science lab. Why, Makaro? This is how they ended up. If you're curious, look inside the science lab. You'll understand what I mean. Now, by they, do you mean two people? Are we gonna get two bodies here? Makaro's voice sunk, like it was subdued. When Makaro, who is usually hard to beat, makes a voice like this, it can only mean when she witnesses someone's death. Being careful not to be touching the water pit, quietly, I moved my gaze into the science lab. The scenery that came into my view from there. It was horrifying. It was utter despair. Alright. Who's it this time? Damn! Inori got fried. Poor girl. Her whole body is tied up and burned out. It was the body of Kanata Inori, the ultimate surgeon. It was an unbelievable despair. Damn. Oh, that's got to be the worst death so far. Oh. Oh, she was probably tortured to death, man. Wow. Oh. To anyone that I haven't greeted in the chat, welcome. Welcome, Minty. Welcome, Kahook, I guess? I don't know. Tsuku? Welcome. I don't know if there's gonna be two deaths here, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. We might find a second death on the second floor. But yeah, oh my god. Okay, well, there goes Inori. This is a lie, right? Why is Inori? Why is she... I couldn't accept the scene that was in front of my eyes, but as soon as I was able to face reality by a sense, it's like grilled squid, but that smell was even more nauseous. This smells like burning flesh. Oh, he threw up. Okay, he puked. Alright. Fair enough. Unbelievable. Nori. It felt like a dream scene. Because of Nori, who was smiling bright with us until yesterday and talking to us, became like this. Nori, who was so kind to us. As a doctor, Nori, who worked very hard to take care of everyone's health. It was then that the sound reminded me that this was our reality. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin. Hey Monokuma, can you clean up that water? It's a hazard zone. They can't do a proper investigation unless you clean that up. The body discovery announcements. That means there's zero possibility that she's alive. Kanata Inori is dead. Why? Why? Who the hell would do this? Why you ask? It's only natural. I don't know who yet, but there's a person who wants to get out of here by any means. This is nonsense. Leaving us so suddenly. It wasn't even time to save her. I'm really sorry, Inori. Even so, the body was found. Why don't we start searching? We need to prepare. Prepare. Search. It's starting again. A class trial. That's right. We have to face this terrible despair once again. If we cannot identify the culprit of who killed Inori, then we will all face punishment due to the class trial's reckless rules. Did you mention that the rest of the people are downstairs? They must have heard the BDA. So they'll come here soon. If you don't want to die, get ready to investigate. Yes, there's no time to even be sad. It was the same when Maki and Tamori died. Once again, we have to overcome sadness. We must overcome despair. However, this despair would not end with this. It was no ordinary despair. Uh-oh. A body has been discovered. I'm afraid that's our lawyer friend. Oh, yep. Classic chapter 3. After a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin. Huh? That wasn't it a BDA again? No. Something's wrong, right? Inori's BDA just rang, right? Why is there another announcement? There's only one thing I can think of. This is quite unprecedented. What are you talking about? Kurokawa! I have a bad feeling. We should join the others on the second floor. What happened? I may already know. But until I check it out with my own eyes, I won't believe it. There's no way. Such a worst situation should never happen. It's almost certainly the lawyer. I don't think Kinjo's dead. Taira, Atori. Maeda-kun. What's going on? What happened to you? That's blood in the library. Oh my god. That is so much blood. That is so much blood. Wow, okay. Taira and Atori appeared astonished in front of the library as they stood there. Also, I want to give my props to Danganronpa for making the blood pink. I think this game is a lot more accessible for everybody since the blood isn't red. I think anyone that's like really squeamish can tolerate some of these more brutal deaths a little bit easier. There's a little bit of distance from reality, which I really appreciate. Taira and Atori appeared astonished in front of the library as they stood there. The front of the library was covered in blood. The huge amount of it, and the bloody locker I saw in the art room. It all started to overlap a little in my head. Obviously, Inori didn't have any noticeable trauma. The BDA rang twice. Taira's party hasn't seen Inori's body yet. I'm so appalled. Me, who was desperate to know. Taira quietly pointed at the library with a finger. Alright, let's see who it is. Quietly, breathing deeply as to not indulge a reason in my mind, and opening the door to the library. No matter what I see here, I have to be prepared to open the door. And what I saw on the other side was, without betraying my expectations, the despair in the library greeted me. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember his name. I'm pretty bad with the memorizing Japanese names. Looks like he got sliced on the neck. So, I don't know, was all that blood just from like an artery, like gushing out blood? I don't know, man. Lying in a pool of blood as the body of the ultimate lawyer, Kakaru Yamaguchi, greeted me. Kakaru, right. Or Yamaguchi, whichever. Duh. Maeda-kun, wake up. Taira? I think I've lost consciousness for a while. And that was because of watching so many shocking scenes back and forth. I was in front of Yamaguchi's dead body in the library. And then there was Taira in between. What's the situation right now? I was worried because Maeda-kun found Yamaguchi-kun's body, and you went silent. Sorry. Maeda-kun's party, who went to the 3rd floor to investigate, came back and found Yamaguchi-kun's corpse, and how everyone else went to the infirmary to take care of Uehara and Kinjo-kun. Kinjo? What's wrong with Kinjo? Did you guys find him? Oh yeah, so I'll explain what happened. Our investigation on the 2nd floor. Our team found a pit of blood in front of the library while investigating the power room, the training room, etc. I went into the library, but Yamaguchi-kun and Kinjo-kun were both covered in blood, and they were both on the floor too. Even Kinjo was covered in blood? Yes, at first I was surprised. I feared they were both dead, because the body discovery rang twice, and I thought Kinjo died as well, and he was treated as a corpse count. That's not right. Another BDA rang because we discovered another body found by us. I heard they were talking about Kanata-chan. It's all too painful to lose so many friends in a single night. But we can't grieve now. I haven't started my investigation yet, but I'll come back to talk about it at the class trial soon. So let's do our best, Maeda-kun. We don't know who it is, but there's probably one of us who killed 2 of our friends. I couldn't even look at the body due to the shock of the death of Inori and Yamaguchi. Taira's eyes seemed full of solid determination, even though it was mixed with sadness. Taira, you've gotten stronger. Huh? It's the same for all of you. You have to overcome death of our friends. You guys are stronger than me. Where I'm just shocked and trembling, Taira. No, I'm not strong. That's a lie. But what was said to me yesterday from Nikako-chan made me realize what I had to do. I was saved by Ayame-chan in exchange for her life, right? So I vowed that no matter what, I wouldn't die here. To be sure to survive here and to repay Ayame-chan's wish. Taira. Oh, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean I'll go killing. It just means I want to escape with everyone together. I know. Don't worry. However, surprisingly, while talking with Taira, it seems my worries have calmed down a little. It feels like she should really get out of here someday if she worked together with us. I felt the same way. Yeah, by the way, everyone's late. You said they were treating Uehara and Kinjo. Uehara was fortunate enough that it was a light wound, but what about Kinjo? I didn't see him. I'm not sure. He was unconscious after being taken into the infirmary. What? It looks like he got a big head wound. Besides, in this case, we had to take the role of Kanata-chan and apply the first aid by ourselves. This is a bad enough situation as it is. Oh, they're here. Yeah. Are you okay now, Maeda? You looked pretty bad. Yeah, somehow. By the way, did you all know about the BDAs? Not only Yamaguchi in the library, but Inori on the 3rd floor was also dead. This is too cruel. Poor girl. It is regrettable. But what has already happened is irreversible, so we have no choice in the matter. We have to find the killer in order to live. Oh, where's Kinjo-kun? Uehara-kun seems fine now. Kinjo's still in a coma. There's no sign of him waking up. We gave the first aid and put him on the infirmary bed. I'm worried. But was the first aid effective? I thought it would be difficult because Inori was missing. Well, to be specific, I didn't do anything, and Itori was the one who applied it. I couldn't do it either. So I just organized the supplies and handed him over the first aid kit. That's a little surprising, Itori-kun. You have more talent than we thought you had. I can't tell if that's a compliment or an insult. Well, I've also sold medical products in the first place, so yeah, I have the knowledge. But compared to Inori, it's not even close. 2 friends have died, and we have no choice but to investigate this, so I'm trying to lighten up the mood more than usual to get as much energy as possible. Thanks to it, the situation seemed to improve however little it could. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Everyone seems to have gathered, so it's okay to show up? It's everyone's favorite idol, Monokuma! Mono. The star! This is my attempt at trying to make a star with my hands. I know it's not good, but I don't know. I don't know. I saw the hearts, so I'm like, heart. And then I see the star, and I'm like, star! I really want to hit this bear real hard. You finally showed up, Monokuma. Why are you so late? Oh, sorry. I tried to show up right away and gave it to you, but you guys made things even more complex. You tried to give it? Yeah, a body was found, you know? 2 of them, too. The Monokuma file 3-1 should not be given. 3-1. This time, there are 2 victims in particular, so I prepared 2 Monokuma files. 3-1 belongs to Yamaguchi-kun, and 3-2 belongs to Mizunori. Hey, does that number mean anything? For example, order of death. What? How do you guess that? It would be fun to say that, but it's not really in that sense. The number attached to the Monokuma files is based on all the members gathered, and it is only 1 because all the members gathered in the current library. Not all of them, because Super Cop is missing. Ginjo-kun is on a trip to Dreamland, so he can't help it, sadly. What the? This toy is making the mood brighter for no reason. It's unfortunate that a murder happened in the morning, but that's why it burns more. Isn't that right? Now then, I'll be going on ahead and leave the next Monokuma file next to the other body. I hope you will do your best for your sacrificed friends. I hope he cleans up that water so we don't get zapped in the science lab. Now wait a minute. Even so, don't you think it's too much to say that the culprit kills 2 people? Huh? If a culprit murders this way, there could be many victims in the future. If they commit 3 or 4 murders, we'll all die. That sounds like it, but that's what I wanted to ask too. This situation was quite unexpected for me too. If slaughter is allowed as a rule, a crazy person can continue to commit serial killings, right? That's the point, huh? I never really thought about that. That's crazy! You're completely irresponsible. Does it really matter? Serial murder is an event that can't be left out of the mystery, right? Blocking such thrilling and heart-pounding events is a sin, too. What? That doesn't matter at all. Just being exposed to the horror of murder makes someone crazy enough, but now you can be a serial murderer? Alright. Then I'll add it to the school rules. It is forbidden to kill another person after an investigation has taken place, and there can be only up to 2 people the Blacken can kill. Now are we done? You should erase the up to 2 people. It can't be helped because this killer's already killed Yamaguchi-kun and Mizunori. So 2 people are fine. Serial killing is so much fun that it can't be missed. How much do you like serial killings? This means that it was the same person who killed Kakaru Yamaguchi and Kanata Inori. What do you mean? What I mean is a criminal A kills Kakaru Yamaguchi and criminal B kills Kanata Inori. However, looking at Monokuma's words, that possibility disappeared. Yes, well, it looks so novel and interesting. Unfortunately, I can't allow that. Even if 2 cases happen at the same time, if the person who committed the first murder comes out, I will personally stop the second one myself. Well, even if there are 2 criminals, there wouldn't be just 1 or 2 difficulties in the class trial. The overlapping object of murder converges to 0 in the first place. Converges to 0 in the first place? Whatever. You would ask me to do something about it, but what can you do? In the end, this is a game. The people who play it would have to be blown the hell out of it. So, this is how it really goes. You guys, please do your research. See you at the class trial. Whew. Eventually, as usual, Monokuma only said what needed to be said and disappeared. Alright, let me take a peek into the chat, because I've been focusing on the game a lot. I'm not used to having such an active chat, but welcome everybody. Hey H-Gamer, welcome. Welcome to the stream, good to see you. Yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, pretty much just commentary on what happened. Fair enough, yeah. Alright. But now we can simmer down a little bit. We can let the adrenaline we can relax. We got an investigation to do, and then a class trial. There's gonna be a lot going on. As Monokuma disappeared, there was a moment of silence in the library. Hey, you guys, I heard it earlier. You said that Tsurugi Kinjo was in a coma. Huh? Yeah. He's on the bed in the infirmary. So what about Kinjo-kun? If he can't wake up for the class trial like this, I think Monokuma will handle that. It's a bit painful that a brain like Kinjo couldn't investigate and proceed to the trial, and maybe that was on purpose. Idiots, you will soon come to the realization of you all who only depended on the Psycho Cop. What? We'll show you we can handle it. Is that right? Me and you guys have fundamentally different ways of thinking. As evidence of that, I already completed the investigation of the library and about the body of Kakaru Yamaguchi. As for you guys, you only went to the infirmary, so what did you do? So what? Are you trying to brag about it? Oh, I'm worried about you getting in my way. Criminal? I don't know who you are. But you think you're pretty intelligent, aren't you? Aiming for Tsurugi Kinjo. Now then, you better try your best. I'm going to the science lab, so don't disturb me. Okay, we got 2 investigations to do here. Mikaro left the library, and we nodded, facing each other. Everyone is the same with pain of losing 2 of our friends. However, as always, you have to overcome it. If the criminal is uncovered in the class trial and survives this situation, we won't have to face the same end. It is natural that I want to sit down and feel sorry for myself, but I've already experienced it twice. Again, we have to overcome it. Because I have no choice but to. Because it must be done. We have to stay determined. Alright. First, let's summarize the basis for the case. This time, unlike the previous 2 incidents, there are 2 victims, and the places where the bodies were found were also with quite the distance from each other. The library on the 2nd floor, and the science room on the 3rd floor. Overall, there is a need for a large-scale investigation going back and forth between the 2nd and 3rd floors. About tools, I don't know, but as previous experience, the killer may have procured tools, etc., from different places. As Makaru said, Kinjo is very helpful in cases. It's embarrassing. Even if you ask Makaru, I don't think she would answer any questions for us. No, I shouldn't give up just because we don't have Kinjo with us. We may wake up soon, and we must do everything we can without Kinjo. The investigation radius must be thoroughly organized, or has been thoroughly organized. Then, as always, let's begin with the Monokuma files. The estimated time of death of the victim, Kakaru Yamaguchi, is about 8:40. Found in the library, so that was very recent then. These deaths just happened. Found in the library, with a sharp cut from the back of the neck to the uvula. To the uvula? Like stabbed through the back of the neck? The weapon is presumed to be something sharp, with no other visible trauma, but his neck was like sliced across in a circumference. So as usual, although it is a Monokuma file with so little information, if the time of death is 8:40, it was right after we found Inori's body. If so, Inori died before Yamaguchi. As it turned out, Inori was still screaming faintly when we were standing at the door of the science lab, which proves she was alive until then. And this means Inori and Yamaguchi were killed almost simultaneously, in real time, It makes sense that they were murdered. No, hold on. Isn't that a little strange? When we opened the door to the science lab, only a large amount of water flowed out of the corridor. And there was no other person in it. Remotely murdered, was it? I haven't seen Inori's Monokuma file yet, so I won't be able to confirm it for sure, but Yamaguchi's intake is said to be something sharp. Well, I guess if you trap her tied up with, like, something electric, and you want to shock her to death, you could just let the room flood and get out of there. Yeah, I could see that. And then the killer just, like, came by and killed Kamakura, was it? Yamaguchi. Yeah. There's a cut deep enough to cut the entire neck. But can this kind of wound be done remotely? I don't think so. I think just one of them was. But if this was called a real-time murder, maybe there's a possibility that someone who was investigating the second floor pretended to find the body after killing Yamaguchi on the spot. Even with this kind of suspicion, I'm so rotten. But this is not a joke, so I have to rule out any kind of scenarios. It was this kind of wound, and there was no other trauma involved, so it seems this must have been an immediate death. This is what I can infer from the Monokuma file so far. Well, for now, let's search the library and science lab, focusing on the Monokuma file. And if we talk to the others, I might discover something too. We got a new school rule. Okay. What's this blood spot? Right next to me is Yamaguchi, whose blood goes all around the library. It's not that strange that there could be blood spots in the library. Following this idea, this blood spot looked kind of different. It's the only way from Yamaguchi's corpse. This blood spot is... Hey, Maeda. What are you doing sitting on the floor? Oh, Kobushikawa. Do you know where this blood stain comes from? Oh, right. That's where Kinjo fell. Is this the place you found him? Well, when we entered the library, Yamaguchi was there, and you can see it, and Kinjo was lying in that position and unconscious. You didn't know because you didn't see Kinjo here. That's right, I heard that Kinjo was struck in the head and bleeding, but you mean he spilled this much blood? You thought it was a joke? The Tori had to disinfect and bandage him, so it's okay for now, but at first I thought he was really dead. Kinjo was lying in this position. That I can't imagine Kinjo knocked down someone else's head in the back. When and how did the killer attack Kinjo to stun him? And if it's enough to make you believe this much, why did they stop with only that? Yamaguchi and Inori were the only ones who were killed, even though there was an obvious malice behind it. The fact that the Blackened can kill up to 2 people, since it was added later as a rule, the criminal wouldn't know about this. If Kinjo wakes up, I should ask him. Alright. We'll go take a look at the body. Yamaguchi's corpse stretches loosely on the floor of the library. In contrast to his sloppy body, it was droopy. His pupils were loose, and he felt empty. This is a man's death. I've seen it many times already. Real people dying. Yamaguchi, you were the one who we talked to just yesterday. There's no time to be sad. Even for Yamaguchi, we must find out who made him like this. I've decided to investigate Yamaguchi's body. I felt something hard and cold. According to the Monokuma file, it said that he was cut off by something sharp. Indeed. There was a terrible wound that I could see with my eyes open. Yamaguchi's neck was completely cut out from the back neck to the front, but it was surprising that it wasn't cut completely. But barely a piece of flesh was left attached. I put up with the nausea that came up and looked at the wound. I've heard that the injured area is ravenously torn by something like a knife or a tool, and that's usually roughened. But in Yamaguchi's case, it was cut neatly, as if you were cutting paper with a cutter knife. I can't see it anymore. It's so terrible. Poor Yamaguchi, spilling so much blood, like Tamori, huh? As my stomach was shaking inside, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. Surely, blood in the library is no joke. It ran from the corridor to the body of Yamaguchi, and it was also protruding from Yamaguchi's body. Yamaguchi's neck doesn't bleed anymore. Looking at the Monokuma file, it said that there were no other visible traumas other than the neck wound. Then this tremendous amount of blood flows from the neck only. Yamaguchi's time of death is 8:40. From this wound, immediate death is certain. So, even if the wound started bleeding from then, it has not yet passed even an hour. But why is the blood no longer flowing out from his throat? When I recall the words of Inori, who is no longer here, it seems that after the heart stops, the blood circulation also stops. If so, then in this case of immediate death, the blood should flow even less. But isn't it too early? In a similar case, when I investigated Tamori's corpse, there was a little blood coming out of her. However, in contrast, Yamaguchi's body looked very dry already. It's been less than an hour since blood has spilled, but the blood already dried up? I knew something was wrong, but there was no way to think about it anymore because there wasn't Inori or Kinjo who had a professional insight on these moments. Inori can't speak to us anymore, but Kinjo's still alive. I should ask him if he wakes up. Yeah, let's go, I guess, talk to these guys now. Damn it. Yamaguchi and Inori were dead. I can't even say goodbye. Even so, we have to survive for them. Okay. Let's do some research. There may be something in the bookshelf. So leave this place to me. Wait. I don't think there's anything on the bookshelf. Killing two people at the same time. How heinous is this person? This killer. I mean, I guess you could potentially hide a weapon in one of the books or something. Of course, it's not me. Don't doubt it. We good here? I think we're good here. Oh, Maeda. Tyra, what are you doing? Is there something in the hallway? Well, that's not exactly right. The smell of blood is still there. And as I keep looking at the body, I just get sick of it. Oh, that. Are you okay? You don't have to overdo it. Oh no, everyone's working hard. I can't be the exception. Class trial will start soon. It's alright. Then why don't you answer a few questions for me, Tyra? Oh, you want to ask me something? Yes. When Kurokawa Uehara and I went to investigate the 3rd floor, would you like to tell me what happened on the 2nd floor at that time? Yeah, she should know this at least. Almost at the same time as the BDAs rang, Kinjo fainted. It's full of holes and my own eyes didn't see it. Okay. I can help in this. That's simple enough. But there's not much to tell. We, like Maeda-kun, were shaken when we found the body. And then we started investigating. Okay. I don't know if this has anything to do with the case, Maeda-kun, but there's something I was a little confused about. Is it okay to say it? Sure, what's that? Kanata-chan, you said you found her in the science lab, right? But I stopped by the science lab just before nighttime yesterday, too. However, at the time, the door was locked, too. Huh, the door to the science lab was locked? Yeah, do you think it's related to the case? It's true. The door didn't open even when we found Inori's body. It was blocked with something like a clasp. Even so, she said the door was already closed before nighttime began yesterday. I think I'll take it for reference. Thank you, Tyra. Was that helpful? I'm glad then. Oh, by the way, why did you go to the science lab just before nighttime yesterday? Oh, that was because last night I did a bit of mincemeat in it. When I tried to use the scissors on my wrist. Oh, were those scissors in the science lab? Yeah, I wasn't sane back then yesterday, so I went out of the science lab to pick up the scissors. I understand, I get it now. Thanks, Tyra. Before nighttime yesterday, the science lab was already close. What does that mean? I'll have to check it out. Okay, Uehara? Is your body okay? Don't overdo it so much. No, it's not a deep one, so don't mind it. By the way, have you seen the cell phone? Cell phone? You mean Maki's cell phone that you found on the 3rd floor? I thought you were keeping it. Yeah. I always kept it in my top pocket, but I didn't know I would need it. But now I realize that the phone is gone. So they stole it. It disappeared. When was the last time Uehara checked for the cell phone? It was at least until yesterday at night that I recall having it. But after my fainting, it was gone. And that means the killer probably took it. That's a sinister premonition, but I'd agree. However, the cell phone doesn't seem important right now. Because the first thing we have to do is investigate. If only you had the number. Maybe you could call it. Ring, 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 ring. No, it didn't have service anyway, so that wouldn't work. I wonder where that cell phone went. Okay, let's go up to the 3rd floor. Man! There's even more water here. I inadvertently tried to walk towards the science lab, but I was surprised, because the water from it was filling the corridor now. The water's still leaking from the science lab? It won't matter if I just go in, but from what Mikara warned me before, it gives me something to be cautious of. I shouldn't step in this water. Hey, incompetent. Get out of the way quickly. You're obstructing the traffic. Oh, Mikara, you came here, but this water. You still talking? Would you get out of the way already? Mikara, you said we shouldn't touch the water a while ago. Why are you doing this? And if you're going there, wouldn't it be dangerous to enter? It's fine to enter now, so feel free to go in. I've spoken to Monokuma earlier to put it away. Put it away? You'll know when you enter the science lab. Still, no one seems to be turning off the faucet. You guys really don't have a clue, do you? You don't even have Tsurugi Kinjo anymore. Put what away? The faucet? For the love of God. Would you look directly with your own 2 eyes and think in your head at least? It would be nice if I could tell you everything, huh? There's no point in being so irritating. Well, since Mikaro said that it's safe to walk in the water, I should be confident now. Like Mikaro said, let's see what happened with our own eyes. I love that sound effect. Let me just walk on the water for a moment. Oh, that's interesting. Nothing here. There probably should be sound effects here. That does break the immersion a little bit. But I like it. Oh, shit. Damn. She really got fucked up. Damn. I was seeing Inori's body sinking in the water. It seemed like she was in tears. Yeah, she was probably tortured to death. Oh, we're investigating the bodies of some of our dead friends with no time to grieve. However, without investigation, the killer has to be identified. In order to survive the class trial, I must investigate. Oh man. For now, I decided to look at the body of Inori, based on what was written in the Monokuma file. Inori's body was so terrible that you couldn't see it with your eyes open, but for now, all her clothes and skin were burnt. Her whole body was fixed with several layers of box tape, and her hands were tied with ropes that hung from the table. Inori, in this state of being unable to move, suffered terrible pain and died. Damn it. I continued investigating while my swearings reached hollow ears. The tools that were used on Inori. I remember seeing box tapes and ropes in the art room. It seems for whatever reason the art room is a place related to the incident. Other than that, I can only think of the fact that the faucet where she's tied to is the same table. And there's many miscellaneous tools around us. But do they have anything to do with the case? The box tape was tightly attached in her shoulders. 5 layers. Even a strong adult man would make it impossible to tear it off with their own strength. And although it must have been even harder for Inori, who was small in size, to move. Was there any reason to tie Inori to this extent? Just a killer's idea? Would that be it? Looking at it this way, Inori has always been in the infirmary since it was opened. Maybe there's a clue in that place too. I bet there is. I bet there is. An object next to Inori's body. It's the Monokuma file 3-2. Brought by that thing. Information about Inori should be written in it. When you forget to take the chicken out of the oven. Oh my god. That's terrible. The victim is Kanata Nori. The estimated time of death is about 8:35. And look at her picture. Like, the attack is her whole body. 8:35. Damn. The body was found in the science lab. The cause of death is electric shock. The body's internal organs have been burned through the wet body because of an electric current for a long time while being bound. Terrible. Not a drop of blood was shed, and yet this is the most terrible someone has done to a friend. Doing this to a Nori who's the smallest and weakest among us? Among us? Uh-oh. Among us? The culprit behind this. It's fair to say that we are distressed to have doubted another friend against our will. But at this very moment, the undeniable anger that I feel has risen against this perpetrator. And I don't know who they are yet. It is different from Yamaguchi. He was presumed to have been killed by his neck with one blow. But in Inori's case, she was just a victim that was killed in front of her very own eyes. A few minutes ago, with a single wall in between the door of the science lab, I heard her scream, her pain, her cries, her agony very clearly. I can't help but feel this anger, but it won't make any difference. Since it's just a Monokuma file that gives information, I'll have to make use of this. But this alone is not enough information. What can be deduced of now is that the time of death was 8:35. She died 5 minutes earlier than Yamaguchi. Around that time, we couldn't open the science lab room. We were just outside of the room. There's no problem with the time, at least. But killing 2 people directly in 5 minutes... At that time, we were walking between the 2nd and 3rd floors, so if we go back and forth between the areas, you would have definitely stood out. How could the killer murder... murder? How could the killer murder 2 people with only 5 minutes for each? No, that was a legit stutter, too. I didn't even, like, try to do that intentionally. That's great. That's great. Oh, man. Oh, there's something blocking the door. What's this? A wooden stick-like object was floating on the water science lab floor. Oh, this. That's right. When the science lab door did not open, it was because of this thing that Makaro removed to open the door when we found Inori's body. We had a hard time because the door of the science room could not be opened, but it seemed that the killer used this object to block the door. Lava, chicken. Yeah. Absolutely. I was thinking more like ghost, personally. When I picked it up and checked it up close, it was an ordinary wooden stick, but it was very thick, so it would be natural if the sliding door was blocked with something like this. When I looked at the back of the door, I saw a space where a wooden board could fit in. If it is closed while standing behind the door, then the closed room scenario would naturally be completed. However, what was the reason for the killer to make a closed room? A reason to lock the room. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, well, there's clearly a lot going on in here. I wanna check the sink. This is one of the tables in the science lab, and the faucet allows you to throw away medicine or wash your hands during experiments. But now, water is pouring out of the faucet at maximum capacity and it's overflowing. Right, the reason why the science lab was flooded like this was because of the faucet. What a huge waste of water. But now it's not the time to think about this. I hurriedly turned the faucet and the water stopped flowing. Well, there's no reason for the water to fill anything now. Also, this must have been done by the killer too. But what was the reason? The reason to make the science lab a sea of water. All these tables are tipped. These chairs are all tipped over. Oh, this is... Deep in the water pool of the science lab, I saw something that I'd seen somewhere before. This was Maki's mobile phone. Probably. The cell phone that Uehara discovered on the first day when the third floor was opened. I haven't seen any other phones, so Maki's would be the only one left. Why is the cell phone in this place? I looked up at the sides, wondering, but as soon as I saw the screen, I noticed that this phone was not in normal condition. Why is the screen like this? The phone screen was crumpled with a mixture of purple and pink. The clock was turned into a strange language rather than numbers, and the buttons weren't fit properly. To simply put it in a word, it's broken. Well, it's only natural because it was underwater. I couldn't hide my disappointment, hoping that I might be able to fix this phone and get in touch with the outside world later on. No, right now the class trial should be the main priority. Anyway, does this mean that the mobile phone was used as some kind of tool for the incident related to this case? Thinking that way, I fiddled with the phone a little more. I noticed a small alarm indicator at the top of the screen. The alarm was set to 8:30, but now it's already off. Who set the alarm? Besides, at 8:30. This was just before we tried to open the science lab door. As I pondered, it very likely was that this phone was involved in the incident. Because it was not only that, there was another tool attached. Someone's really cranking their motorcycle out there. To the phone strap. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this could be the object connected to the cell phone strap was something I've seen in cartoons and movies. An electric shocker, like a taser? I think it was also called a stun gun. Why are these dangerous objects at school? No, it seems like they were in the storage of the science lab, but that's right. Now I can understand what Mikaro said. Probably because the stun gun was using its power in the water pit. If it entered that state, there's a high chance we would have gotten electrocuted. But now it seems it's not working. And it was also because Mikaro told Monokuma to put it away. More importantly than that, this is far from the crime scene. According to the Monokuma file, Inori's death was caused by electrocution, so it's probably definitive that this was the most likely murder weapon. But what reason does it have to be connected to the phone strap? Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, it could have been a Nokia and then just used as a blunt object. But what reason does it have to be connected to the phone strap? Also, that's not the only weird thing. If you think about this, if the weapon was a stun gun, that means the killer struck Inori with this object. But then, contradictions show up, such as the locked room scenario in the science lab and the crime that was done to Yamaguchi. No, there's nothing to suggest that the killer can only attack directly to their victim. Maybe making the science lab out of water like this was to prepare an effective crime scene. If the electricity goes on while you're immersed in water, you're in a danger zone. The rest to figure out how would be how the killer made the water to be energized and what method they used. I'll have to speak about this with the others. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta go use the bathroom. Just give me a few. Alright, back at it. I think we just talked to Mikaro. You didn't follow me, did you? At least you listened. When you came in here, you know how. Now, the reason why I told you not to touch the water, and why this place became a pool of water. But yeah, but Mikaro, I wanted to ask you something different from this. Do you think I'll answer? I'm serious here. I really have a question. It was when you were in the art room locker. You asked me to show you my hand as soon as you left the locker, right? Why did you do that? I won't answer this, however. This is just simple safety. No matter what happens, the only thing that lives on is insurance. It is the minimal precaution that's needed. Insurance? The two of us aren't close enough to explain every phrase to you, am I right? Well, don't worry. The psycho cop won't be able to serve you this time. So you should have an insurance at least. An alibi, you mean? Or something? I don't know. When you guys feel so clueless that you got no other ways to go in the verge of death, this aspect shows up in the trial, then I'll show you at least my last trump card. So please make sure that doesn't happen. Which means it's going to happen. Alright, Mikaro began to investigate Inori's body again, leaving only an empty silence at the end. It's the moment that she will no longer speak. At that time, Mikaro had to make sure to give her my right hand. I took a look at my right hand, but there wasn't anything there. Is there something only Mikaro knows? Yeah, probably. Anything else in here? I'm wondering if anything's missing from the cabinets. Probably not. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't think so. I'll check this one just because it's opened. Nah, nothing. Okay, I have to go around. Well, I guess now let's go to the first floor. Maybe we can go check on Kinjo, see how he's doing. Kurokawa, you came down to the first floor. Did you figure out something? Kurokawa? Originally, Kurokawa was always to come out without a word, but now it looks like she's cautious. Is it because of the mood? I don't think she's open to talking for now, so I decided to leave it alone. Let's continue investigating. Let's go to the infirmary. It's Kinjo who fainted. The others treated him here and put him in the infirmary's bed. There's no way Kinjo will just finish here. When will you wake up? We're in a lot of trouble without you. Nothing else? I'm trying to remember, like, what button has the alerts. It really helps for the investigation. There's, like, some sort of option to activate it. Shift. Okay. This refrigerator is a place to store transfusion packs individually stored for each blood type. I was surprised when I opened the refrigerator. No way, we don't have any transfusion packs. There were no more than 20 transfusion packs left the last time I saw them. Who used a transfusion pack recently? No, where would you even use a transfusion pack? Let's think for a moment. When did the packs disappear? I recall them being stored properly until at least yesterday. Then that leaves... Was it the killer's doing? But even if the culprit is the one, why did they need to take a transfusion back? Did they even need fresh blood? Am I missing something? Let's check the library again. Maybe there's something else. We gotta talk to Tyra again? I know I shouldn't despair, but I'm dropping tears, so I can't help it. Okay, no, but I guess it's just everything we need to check out. The blood trail, okay. It's a huge blood trail from Yamaguchi's body to the library door. Was this all Yamaguchi's blood? There seems something wrong with this. It's a terrible amount to look at, but I've seen a situation similar to this. It was dark back then, and I couldn't see as well. Tamori shed such a tremendous amount of blood and died. However, there are more from Yamaguchi's in terms of quantity. Because this blood leads all the way to the corridor, so this is probably a blood pack then. There's also this in Tamori's case. There were 2 wounds, one on the neck and the other in the stomach. It was also discovered several hours after death, so it was already bleeding. Less than an hour after death, and no matter how deeply you were injured. Can this amount of blood come out of your neck? Not only that, the shape of the blood is also a little strange. This shape looks as if the body of Yamaguchi was brought into the library from outside. I'll check this out for a bit. Huh? When I slightly lifted Yamaguchi's body and looked at the floor where he was laying down, I immediately felt a sense of discomfort. If the corpse was brought from the outside, there should be no blood under Yamaguchi's corpse. But that's what I see here. Blood spots are also over Yamaguchi's body. Thanks to that, Yamaguchi's stomach and chest were met with blood. The shape of the bleeding itself certainly feels like dragging the corpse to the floor from the outside. If so, there can be no blood left under the corpse like this. No, before that. If there is blood under the body, then it means that blood was here before Yamaguchi fell. Is that right though? However, Inori didn't really seem to bleed. Then this blood must be Yamaguchi's. I don't really know, but I noticed something strange about the situation with the blood seen in the library and Yamaguchi's body. I'll mark it down and discuss it with the others at the class trial. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess I should probably investigate the art room too. It doesn't look like I missed anything here. Probably just go to the art room next. Hi, Yuki. The hallway is a water bath and the art room is full of bloody lockers. Why is everything so bad? It seems the culprit this time planned the crime by going from place to place. That's a very intelligent killer. I wonder if Satsuki can win against such a mighty opponent. I'm a little worried. We'll go check the locker. It's a locker that contained miscellaneous art tools, but now the inside is covered with blood in a terrible condition. Mikaro was bound like this in the bloody locker. At that time, Mikaro's arms and legs were tied with tape and her mouth was taped as well. She was locked from the outside and hit the door of the locker from the inside to try and get out, and the result was a rumbling sound that echoed in the second floor. And the killer did all of this, right? Apparently the culprit trapped her here for some reason. Otherwise, if you did all this to yourself, it would only create more suspicion. Not only Mikaro, the attack on Uehara and Kinjo must have been the reason as well. But the bigger issue is this bloody locker. If you think about it, Yamaguchi and Inori's body don't seem to be related to the art room. However, what does the blood in the locker suggest? No matter who it's from, it's pretty difficult not to miss it. The blood is also dried up. Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding. Yamaguchi instead had too much bleeding, but he died not too long ago. And Mikara was also tied here, but she was not bleeding. If that's the case, it could be Kinjo's blood. It's my only guess. Kinjo got hit in his head. If this amount comes from his head, wouldn't he have died? This blood's identity is troublesome in more ways than one. I have no choice but to discuss it later at the class trial. Okay. Anything else? Got a couple of things to check out. We got a trash can in here. I wonder if there might be something here too. And I inadvertently looked in the trash can and was surprised to find something. I thought it was tissue paper, but looking closely, it looks like a type of cloth. I took out the unidentified piece of cloth from the trash and opened it. Let's see. Are these clothes? No, it's not just clothes. This is... no way. These were indeed blood-soaked, that it was difficult to recognize the original color. But the pure white color that looked at a glance reminded me that this was originally a white gown worn by doctors. This white coat is what Inori was wearing. When I think about it, Inori's body was what I saw in the science lab, and she was not wearing a white coat. I think I would find it in such an unexpected place. In fact, it may not be so unexpected. The place where the corpses were found in the science lab in the library, but the art room is pretty close to that area of the incident. The locker of where Mikara was found is the same. This is a white coat. It seems the blood from the coat has been there for some time. It didn't feel wet at all. The question is, where did the killer use this white coat? For starters, Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding, so maybe it was used while killing Yamaguchi. No, it can't be. It's too dry to be from Yamaguchi's blood. Thought it would be an important clue, so I was able to make a new discovery while investigating every corner of the white coat. In the pocket of the white coat, I found a crumbled plastic wrap, but when I opened it carefully, I could see it was blood-stained. The locker, library floor, white coat, and this. There's too many blood-related clues. What's even happened here? Also, when I take a look closely, the plastic wrap has a small round hole in the middle, but the meaning was unknown. Guess I'll have to talk about it in the trial. It's possible it was used to prevent blood, but wrapping a plastic for the sake of... would it have anything to do with the clues we found? Okay. A weapon decoration made of plaster. Various weapons are carved here, but do you usually design weapons? No, it's this one. Huh? This plaster weapon. Was it originally here? I thought it was against the plaster on the right. I don't come to the art room often, but I'm not so sure about this. I don't know, it's probably just an illusion. The moment I tried to make that judgment and move my steps, I saw the red spot. This spear, is this blood? It wasn't very noticeable, but there was a circular red dot on the tip of the long blade. I picked up the spear and smelled that part. A faint but fishy smell. This must be. This is blood. Then the weapon that killed Yamaguchi was something long and sharp. If it's long, this might fit for the murder weapon. After using it to kill Yamaguchi, it was returned back to the same place where it was originally, but the location was different because the killer got mistaken? Looking at the blood on it, it must be something related to the case somehow. But why is the blood so tiny-sized and a circular splatter? It has something to do with that plastic wrap, clearly. It was so tiny that I almost missed it. Did it make a small bounce from this? No. It would not have caused the blood to splatter in the first place. I don't think I can figure it out yet. Is that it? Is that all the clues? I think we're almost done by now. But the culprit is still a mystery, damn it. Maybe more investigation is required. Monocom hasn't called yet, so let's continue. Kinjo jump scare. Kinjo, you're awake. Maeda, are you okay? What about your bandages? It wasn't a thin wound from what I've heard. Now's not the time to bother about that. Maeda, did a murder happen? Yeah. Just a while ago. The class trial will begin soon. Kinjo, I'm glad you woke up. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to relax. I have to see the scene of the case before the trial starts. Maeda, did you do some research? Do you know where the scene is? Yeah, you should start with the library, the science lab, the art room, and the infirmary. Okay, thanks. Kinjo, wait a minute. What's wrong? I'm sorry, but like I said, I don't have much time right now. If I go to the trial without knowing what the case is, it's over. I'll talk to you later. But what I'm trying to ask you right now is related to the investigation. Is it okay if it's simple, right? Please answer me. How the hell did you pass out? I saw a bloody Yamaguchi. Uh-huh. I saw blood coming from the library, so I went to investigate. Yamaguchi was collapsed on the floor in blood. No matter how much I see corpses, I couldn't hide my surprise. Taking that little pause as their chance, someone attacked me from behind. I don't have any memories after that. Wait, you're talking about yesterday at nighttime, right? Yeah. What I mean is Yamaguchi was lying on the floor all bloody since yesterday at night? Correct. If you walk around the scene right away, you'll notice it. So Yamaguchi is dead, right? Yeah. Not only Yamaguchi, but Inori also died. What? Inori too? The culprit in this case is not a simple person. They're a heinous mind that killed 2 people in a single day. This damn asshole. I'll definitely catch this being and punish him. You should go and do some more research for that too. So I'll leave now, Maeda. This is actually good though. Kinjo managed to wake up. Will he be okay? Time is already. Oh, right. And what Kinjo said was somewhat weird. Kinjo mentioned that he saw Yamaguchi collapse, but Yamaguchi's time of death is around morning hours, so... Was he unconscious until the killers showed up again? Bloodied and abandoned until the morning after. No, miracles like Tomori don't happen twice. Still, what Kinjo said would be a clue to something, so it's good to put that into place. The more I investigate something, the more the mystery seems to get deeper. Uh-oh. Kinjo doesn't have enough time to do the investigation. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry that you had to work so hard in your research. However, Mr. Monokuma here is impatient, so why don't we just solve this together? That said, the class trial will now begin. Please gather up at the red carpet door on the first floor as usual. What kind of results will be waiting for us in this trial? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it thrilling? Pooh-hoo, pooh-hoo, I'll be waiting. Oh man, Kinjo's gonna be pissed. Time's up. What about Kinjo? He just started investigating, but now they're already gathering. It was a big misfortune that he was lying down because he passed out. But even without Kinjo's help, we'll have to work together. Even if I think about it, I haven't even figured out the crime scene properly yet. Damn it. This won't make a difference if I stay here. If I'm late, I'll get punished. Let's just go. Upon entering the entrance of the court, most of the guys were already gathered. Maeda-kun, you're here. Are you the last one? Then Kinjo never managed to open his eyes. No, Kinjo's pulling off the equipment of trying to finish the homework assignment after class has already started. What do you mean? Kinjo isn't here? What are you talking about? Did Kinjo wake up? I met up with Kinjo just before I got here. Is that true? Thank goodness Kinjo woke up. But I can't see him. Oh wait, but I can't see him! It's a matter of language not to have a class trial without properly investigating in his own personality. However, it's time for the meeting. But he's late because he wants to investigate as much as possible, isn't that so? That's so like Kinjo indeed. Yeah, studying for the test after the test started, basically. Yeah, no way. But if Kinjo's the culprit in this case, what's this nonsense deja vu again? Teruya, are you just saying that because they're late? Think about it and tell me. Why not? It could happen, right? What? Kinjo can be the culprit? Wouldn't it be more fun then? Psycho Cop finally goes to murder with their own hands. Mikaro agrees with my own opinion for once, so wouldn't it be strange if the universe explodes? Strangely, it's more scary when Mikaro says it. What do you enjoy so much about this, Mikaro? Did you forget? In the class trial, you could die. I had hoped you would at least change a little, but you're still the same as ever. Because I know the killer and the trick even before going to the trial. All that's left is to watch you shovel their grave, right? Huh? You already know who the killer is? Who is it? Why should I tell you, idiots? Don't worry, I'll watch you shoveling and struggling. I'm not sure I should say this, but this is the first time I've ever thought about wanting to hit a woman this much. By the way, where's Kinjo? He's late. Alright, have you all gathered? Good, then let's get started. As always, just take the elevator to go down. The trial's design has been remodeled, so look forward to it. But Kinjo's not here. Huh? Kinjo's not here? Kinjo was given a special time bonus due to his fainting condition, is what I want to say, but since he woke up and started investigating the case, it's presumed that they're going to participate in the class trial. So this is my mistake. He won't get punished, but I'll bring him shortly in supersonic speed. Hey, what kind of supersonic speed is this? No, it's just that when I was about to search for him, he was already at the door. Boo-hoo-hoo. Kinjo-kun sure is obedient. You came and I didn't even need to call you. Shut up and disappear before my eyes already. Kinjo, are you okay? Well, I did as much investigation as possible. Compared to the previous cases, the amount of information is extremely insufficient, but... No, I asked if you were okay since you got hurt. Oh, you mean my body? Well, it's fine. I've experienced this much injury. Even once or twice with a snatcher. What's a snatcher? All that's coming to my mind is like a snapping turtle. Hey, it's been a long time, hasn't it, Kinjo? I didn't expect to see you bleeding and fainting. Does he mean like thief? Like, did he confront a thief and he got attacked or something? I don't know, man. I think you're forgetting something. I'm a human being too, so I got caught off guard. Why? Did you get a little fed up with us, Kinjo? Clearly, last time you left the dining room, I thought you were breaking our bonds or something like that. Of course I did, but that still hasn't changed. But in the conditional situation of the class trial, your charges of being preliminary criminals are revoked for the time being. Criminal analogy is that the more manpower there is, the better. Because a murder has occurred, the rest of the criminals, other than the criminal of this incident, are simply ordinary citizens in this scenario. Koboshikawa was making a list of swearing words to give a double comeback to Kinjo once he woke up. What? Hey, I never did that. Do whatever you like. This is a temporary truce anyways. After this trial, you'll become a preliminary criminal once more. Of course, Akane Tairo is an exception. I'm always thinking of you as a semi-criminal. One that committed an attempted murder, so don't even think you're innocent in the least. The crazy guy started having seizures again. Taira, don't bother with what waste of a man... with, what that waste of a man says. Okay. When Maki died, we were thoroughly fighting with each other. It is a difficult class trial ever if we have to work together. Something gave me an odd feeling like this. It would be an even more difficult trial than any other I'd faced. That's enough talking. Anyway, we're starting the trial, right? Let's get on with it already. Indeed. The first thing we must do now is solve what's in front of us. It's not good for everyone to be on edge this early. Yeah, Mikaro and Uehara are right. If we do not pass the class trial first, we will all die. Relationships with the others, conflicts with Kinjo. There are many problems ahead. I want to solve them, but first, the biggest one. Let's begin our class trial. If we don't take care of it, nothing will change in the end. I want to talk to Kenjo once more. I investigated as much as I could. The only thing left to do is deduct the results from yours. I was insane for the most part after Ayama-chan was executed, so I couldn't talk much to those two. I'm sorry, Kanata-chan. I'm really sorry, Yamaguchi-kun. Screw it. We'll talk to everybody. What now? Go down there already. There's something dangerous about this case, and it seems it'll be a more complex trial than before. Be on your guard. No way. I think the number of people is a bit shorter. Yeah? No? Well, the only thing left to do is this, right? When did we all start disappearing like this? Ugh, coming here again and again. Now just smelling this place is getting more disgusting. Damn it, killing 2 people at once. This is the worst. It's the worst feeling ever. Okay. Let's go. I'll open the door. Like always, the elevator is making a loud noise and while going underground. The inside of the elevator was only filled with 9 people. It was so quiet there at this time. There's also fewer people now. Is it because the relationship between us has worsened than the first and second trials? Me in particular, I try not to make eye contact with some of them. This is just Kinjo or Mikado. I wonder if... will we really be able to survive this time? The elevator stopped with a shake that we seem to be getting used to by now. Whoa, this is a surprise. Why are you in front of me, bear thing? Didn't you learn in kindergarten to think about the people who get off an elevator? Monokuma's been doing this once or twice already, though. It's hard to react anymore. Why is he not saying anything? Has he been turned off? Why is Monokuma like this? I guess it's a new act. Hey, how long are you planning on doing that? We have to do the class trial. Are you going to move? Something seems different than usual here. Kurokawa, touching that thing won't do any good. Huh? What's wrong, Mikako-chan? Kurokawa was suddenly stunned. At first she thought Monokuma was pulling a prank, but she noticed the mood was different than usual. And then... Hiya! Eek. I'm alive. I'm alive. You thought I was dead. When Kurokawa touched it, Monokuma suddenly began to make a loud noise. What the hell are you doing? Are you kidding around? Don't do that again. All of a sudden, my rack was stuck. I was surprised too. Rack? Pooh, no big deal. Did you all come down here in the meantime? Well done. Then shall we start right away? Looks like you're trying to rush something here. By the way, wasn't Kurokawa's scream cute? Let's just move on. Alright, it's time for what everyone's been waiting for. The class trial is back. Well, of course I knew this would happen. Nobody waited for this. Whatevs. Even if it's not you, there's another person who was waiting for this. Anyway, this will be the 3rd class trial. Your own relationships, who have been paying attention to the trends of the nerds, seems to be in a state of lockdown, as if it were breaking. Shut up. I don't care about that. Don't bring up stupid stuff and start already. Oh boy, tough attitude I see. I was gonna start anyways. Now then, shall we go with no more words? An extreme trial, the class trial that crosses between life and death. The 3rd one. The moment Monokuma said that, I suddenly felt disoriented. Even when you think 2 victims and 2 culprits died, 4 friends were already gone. In addition to the victims of this incident, there's a total of 6 friends that have left our group. One of the victims this time was a Nori. Is this song also from Ultra Despair Girls? I'm gonna have to play that game eventually. After the infirmary was open, she didn't know when someone would get hurt, so she spent most of her days in that room. A child with the most angelic heart I've known who worried about us, our health, our happiness, and Ori was that kind of person. Through and through, the reason she died was because her whole body became a block of charcoal. Her whole body was tied and unable to move. Someone who has done such a terrible thing is among us. Among us? They also killed Yamaguchi and committed ruthless acts. The culprit. Although Yamaguchi was timid and behaved inappropriately due to his size, at more important times he mediated the situation like a lawyer, and we laughed together. But then he was killed with a neck wound so severe that it was nearly amputated in cold blood. Yamaguchi was no longer with us. A trial to uncover the killer begins now. A trial in order to live. A lie in order to live. A betrayal in order to live. Elaborating their will to live for an excuse to kill. Using trust at the risk of life. Risking our lives in the class trial. Alright, this would be a great time to save our game. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to check on the menu for like abilities and stuff. You can't access that here. Oh well, it's fine, everything's fine. Now then, let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial. The outcome of the class trial is decided by your votes. If you point out the Blacken, only they will get punished, but in case you point out the wrong one, everyone will get punished, and the one who deceived everyone else will graduate from the academy. Also, this translation is brought to you by Zephy, so please give him a heartfelt like to the channel on YouTube and have fun. Like, comment, and subscribe, baby. So we have to find the culprit who killed Kanata-chan and Yamaguchi-kun, right? That's right. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Now then, you may start your discussion. You know, this is a little bit awkward, but can Kinjo lead again? I could keep you on top of my reasoning, but unfortunately I won't be very helpful this time either. I investigated in a hurry, but I don't know the details of this case, and there are several parts that I could not investigate. Because you got beaten and knocked out by the killer, right? Then we have no choice but to do it ourselves as much as possible. It's gonna be a miracle if Bakaro helps us. Well, accidentally pressed the Windows key. Now it'll be fine. If you keep waiting, we'll reach an answer, right? Just when you start discussing, Kinjo might find something too. I hope so. Then let's do it as far as we can. The case has been far more different than the others. Unlike Maki or Tamori, who died suddenly while we couldn't see them, the murder took place right in front of us. Yeah, that too. We know because two people were killed on different floors. I think the people on each other's floors will have different information. That was when Kinjo fainted at that time. Then it's best to listen to everyone as much as possible. We'll begin a summary of the case. Satsuki will help too. The people who surveyed the second floor and the people who checked the third floor saw and heard differently. So we have to gather information. As Kobo Shikawa said, Kinjo doesn't know anything. So let's explain the incident and sort out the order in which the incident occurred. First, before the body discovery announcement rang this morning, Maeda, Taira, Hiranami, Atori, and I were waiting for everyone to gather at the restaurant. After 1 hour, Makako-chan arrived, but the rest were not coming at all, so we felt something was wrong and decided to find Kanata-chan and Yamaguchi-kun. Then on the second floor, we found Uehara fainted. Unfortunately, he was able to come to his senses, but right after that, on the third floor, there was a strange sound that went wild. So we decided to act in 2 groups. The second floor investigation group and the third one. Kurokawa, Uehara, and me on the third floor. As for the second one, it was Taira, Kobushikawa, Atori, and Hiranami who took over it. Alright, so you're saying the viewpoint diverges from there, is that right? In my case, I heard a rough story from the others in charge of the second floor investigation, but there are many others who probably don't know about it yet. Shall Maeda, Kurokawa, and me talk about the third floor first? We went up to the third floor, and then each of us decided to check a room. Maeda went to the art room, the epicenter of the strange sounds. I checked the science lab, and Kurokawa decided to check the rest of the rooms. The empty classrooms and casino. There was nothing wrong. Like Uehara said, I headed to the art room, where I was able to confirm the identity of the strange noise. The sound coming from inside the locker. What I found in it was Makaro's hands and feet tied up. Inside the art locker was Makaro with her mouth taped and her limbs were bloody, and she was kicking the locker door to try and open it. And that was what the roaring sound was. Alright, have a good one, Premium Bloke. Thanks for being so active in chat. Genuinely. I appreciate it. The archive will be up on YouTube if you decide to watch the rest. I don't know how long I'm going to stream this for. I could just go until maybe the intermission. That might be a good point to stop. We'll see. That was what the roaring sound was. We've been going for a little over 2 hours now. Makara was trapped. And bloody, too. Wait, she wasn't in a position to talk to the others either? This incompetent child. I won't let things go so easily. Why me? I was just trying to organize the case. Maeda went to the art room and came along with the Makaro, and I wondered how he found her. She must have been trapped. Well, at the time, the situation was so urgent that there were some things that could not be explained properly. But why was Makaro found like that? Why, you ask? I was taken off guard by the killer. You also say that you were off guard. Don't worry. Unlike the cop over there, I didn't give a damn. What do you mean? Don't mind to continue the discussion. I'll tell you after I watch you guys shovel some more. You really are a piece of... Isn't there even cooperativeness in here anymore? Ignore Makaro and keep talking. Even if you don't know, I have a reason based on what I heard just now. Yeah, then I'll continue. After taking Makaro out, we came out through the corridor, and then Kurokawa and Uehara called out, mentioning that the science lab door was not opening. As I said earlier, I went to investigate the science lab, but the door was tightly closed and couldn't be opened. In my attempt, I tried to force it open, but it was no use. The effort didn't seem good at all, so Kurokawa joined, who came from investigating the other places. Yeah, there was even a scream coming out of the science lab. The 4 of us who were on the 3rd floor all focused on opening the door, and finally we succeeded in opening the door to it. Was Kanata-chan dead? Shortly after the body discovery announcement came out. Everyone knows by now from seeing Inori's body, but it was so horrible that she was shocked to death and couldn't even move from there. But the crime didn't end there. Yeah, it came out again. Another BDA. That's Yamaguchi's BDA that we found in the library, right? In order to see what has transpired, we went down to the 2nd floor and joined you guys. We also checked Yamaguchi's body. That's all from our report on the 3rd floor investigation team. As for us who checked the 2nd floor, are no different. Each of the 4 were put to investigate a classroom, and I, who went to the library, found Yamaguchi-kun and Kinjo-kun. and then the rest of you guys discover the corpse one after another, and then the BDA rang. So roughly, that's how the case played out? Yeah, at first glance it's like a murder case, just like 2 people died overnight and we found them one after another, but the biggest problem with this case is that the killing was this morning, the same day. They went to the same areas as us, even the same hour, and committed a murder. Is that... you mean the estimated time of death in the Monokuma file? That's right. According to the Monokuma file, Yamaguchi and Inori died at the time we were investigating the 2nd and 3rd floors. I realize this, but as much as we've been acting in pairs and working with each other, we can prove everyone's alibi. That's not the only thing weird, right? When the science lab door was closed, we heard Inori's scream clearly with the door in between. When we opened the door, there was no one inside. Now wait a minute, that's the same for us. The place where Uehara-kun was found was near the stairs of the 2nd floor. To get out of the library after killing Yamaguchi-kun, you must pass through there, so you couldn't have missed them. When you went to search the library, did you go right away after breaking with the others who went to the 3rd floor? Yeah. When I went to the library, Yamaguchi-kun was already dead. If the culprit killed them in the library, I couldn't have missed that. Even if we say directly what came out, Kanada-chan was killed too. To go up the 3rd floor, they would have to pass Maeda-kun, right? All those things don't make any sense. I didn't ask that far, don't jump ahead. Oh, yes, sorry. What are you sorry for? You don't have to apologize to that guy. That's how Kinjo is. He doesn't like Taira anyways, so don't worry. Everyone else is not thinking badly of you, okay? Oh no, it's alright, Kobushikawa-kun. No matter what the others say, it is true that I stabbed Kazuna-chan. And it's true that Ayama-chan died because of me. I don't deserve to say anything else. If you know that, then let's continue. I also don't want to waste my time talking about bitter stuff, even in class trials. So then, the biggest issue right now is how did they go back and forth without any of us noticing in that short time? Yeah, Inori and Yamaguchi's time interval was only 5 minutes. It is definitely impossible to kill in those 2 places that's separated by different floor levels. It looks like that, but is that really how it happened? Let's think based on what we've investigated. I may have found the secret of this challenge. Okay, we got the non-stop debate. Let's go check it out. I'm gonna try and read everything out first, actually. I'll take the hit on the energy. In that short time of voting all of our eyes, it's impossible to kill 2 people. Not necessarily. Yamaguchi was killed after. Do you know what it was that killed Inori? Electrocution by a stun gun, right? Maybe it was the stun gun. That does make an electric shock against a body. But it's not close to the body, so it wasn't affected by it. Really? If you think about the scene of the incident, can't you think of anything else? The suspicious stun gun that killed Inori is definitely a melee weapon. However, the stun gun is a suppression weapon, not a lethal weapon. So the killer didn't directly target the stun gun, but what was the special circumstance used? A special circumstance is in which Inori can be electrocuted even if they're not in a crime scene. Sticky keys. Shout out sticky keys. We're gonna get that a lot. We're gonna go with stun gun first, but if not, then it's the flood. Not sure which one. I got a mana coin. Yeah, if you have to Press shift multiple times, you're gonna get that. Okay, so that was wrong then. So it's probably the flood. But that's weird. Why did I get a monocoin? Okay, there it is. Again, I don't know why the monocoin is showing up in this chapter. It's pretty funny. No, the weapon that killed Inori was definitely a stun gun. It may not have been a direct hit from the stun gun. It wasn't a direct hit, but the weapon was a stun gun? Are you saying some kind of ghost hit then? Ghost? Have you all been to the science lab at least once? Wasn't that sea of water enough to overflow the corridor? At first I was wondering why they needed to do this. The fact that the science lab was turned into a sea of water, Inori was electrocuted. What was the cause to make this happen? If you let Kanata-chan submerge in water and then drop the stun gun, you can cause an electric shock without touching the stun gun directly. But wait a moment. The stun gun itself is just a suppression tool. It doesn't come out with enough voltage to kill people in no time. Of course, that also depends on the device. However, if you allow water to pass electricity, it would be enough for a person to pass through their body. Yeah, if that were the case, wouldn't the killer be able to electrocute indirectly with the water, even if they didn't use the stun gun with their hands? No way, Maeda. Your reasoning has a bunch of flaws. What's wrong all of a sudden, Kobashikawa? Listen, I tried to reason my head wrapped around this crime for a while, but this logic is so wrong that it just doesn't fit. I've always been beaten by Maeda, but today I won't lose to you. You're arguing for such a useless reason. Useless? You said it was useless? Fine then, Maeda. Unfortunately for you, I found out what's wrong with your reasoning. Now then. This is my chance to point out your mistake. From now on, the counter-argument showdown will begin. Would you like to hear an explanation? Might as well. Oh, cool! It's Korean! Alright, never mind then. I guess I'm not getting a reminder. Because I can't read that. It's fine. I just gotta remember what the buttons are. Let's assume that the stun gun was submerged. Certainly you can electrocute without touching the body directly. But in order to get into the water, someone should be in the science lab. After all, it doesn't change to go back and forth between the second and third floors. No, not necessarily. If only you drown the stun gun, you can operate it remotely. But that's impossible, only with superpowers. The stun gun moved on its own and fell into it. Unless there's a tool that literally moves on its own. Stun guns fall into the water themselves, that can't exist, right? If you were to drown the stun gun, I would be able to electrocute it without touching the body. If that's the case, there's a way to remotely drop the stun gun. Like anything at all, there's a tool that was used, or the time difference was used. Let's rethink the scene of the incident, and think carefully about the items in the science lab and its surroundings. Then the things that were near the stun gun, wouldn't those have something to do with the drop? Probably the phone.
してみせる。
Kobushikawa. Maybe there may be one. A tool that moves by itself. What? In fact, the science lab's stun gun wasn't just dropped there. Next to it, a mobile phone was connected with a strap. Cell phone? You mean the one that Uehara discovered? Yeah, that's right. Maki's mobile phone. It was the one that disappeared, and you said it was there? Also, you said it was a self-moving tool? Why does that cell phone matter? Actually, it matters because it has a vibration function that was used. Ginjo's right. That phone had alarm settings just before we heard Inori scream. Oh, that's right. I understand this now. So you connected the strap to the phone. Why is the alarm function related to moving? Am I the only one who doesn't understand? Oh, Uehara, a vibration alarm function. You don't know what that is? Alright, Uehara lived in the mountains, so you don't know about the achievements of society, right? Let the civilized people tell you then. I did not live in the mountains. Uehara. What I wanted to explain was that they drowned the stun gun using the phone's alarm function. The phone and the stun gun were connected by a strap. Probably the killer set the alarm at the time when the stun was about to be drowned and placed the phone in a corner as if it were about to fall on the edge of the desk. When this happens, the alarm goes off at the preset time and the vibration function occurs. The cell phone moves little by little through the vibration and eventually falls from the desk to the floor. I see, I understand now. So the stun gun that was connected to the cell phone fell along with it. What do you think, Kobushikawa? With this, is it possible to electrocute Inori remotely without anyone in the science lab, right? Oh yes, I lost. I didn't want to lose this time, but I lost to Maeda again. If people like Kinjo don't know, Maeda will be able to win. Is it a problem to win and lose now? Take it seriously, this is a class trial. I know that. But who would know about this? I only argued once because I thought my reasoning was better than Maeda's. It's fine. Don't fight. Now we have to focus on revealing the culprit's crimes first. Why am I mediating now? So, Kanata-chan was electrocuted remotely using a cell phone in the flood, right? I do like this game quite a bit. I would recommend it, Elsie. If you want to give it a shot, highly recommend it. I think it's the closest that we have to a fourth Danganronpa game right now. It does take a little bit of setup to do. Just because of the nature of it being an RPG Maker game, and you have to like get a translation in there if you don't understand Korean. But other than that, it's pretty solid. I also had to like move my save file from one folder to another because chapter 1 is specifically just in the demo, and then the rest of the game is in a separate game file. So Kanata-chan was electrocuted remotely using a cell phone in the flood, right? Same. You found that the phone has an alarm function. Even if it is that type of phone these days, it looks like an old 2G phone. My question would be, is it waterproof? Waterproof? The fact that the stun gun fell into the water means that the cell phone was connected to it also dropped. Old cell phones will probably break because of the water. No, rather the cell phone was floating on the floor of the science lab and it was in a broken state. The time displayed was also strange and the colors of the screen had strange marks and lines. I just found that an alarm was set among other features that were still functional. So you can't use any other functions again? That's a little disappointing. Even if it's out of the signal, it was still the mobile phone that could bear a clue in the future. Hey, aren't you guys leaning down the road too much? If the problem is sorted out, let's move on to the next step of Inori's problem. It was already cleaned up. We have yet to hear a lot more from this case. Oh, right. So, as long as the killer can do a remote killing using their cell phone in the floor of water, Then I'll have to run directly on the second and third floors. I see. If you use it up in advance, then the rest just needs a Nori tied up so that she cannot move from that spot. Oh, if you set it up in advance. Yeah. They may have used a lot of tape for that purpose. It seems so. But if that's true, then what happened to Yamaguchi? Huh? Is there anything amiss? The culprit did the kill themselves. Wait a second. Even if Kanata-chan is clear, is it the same with Yamaguchi-kun? When I discovered him in the library, it was only Kinjo who fell down. If Tyra's words are true, it would certainly be impossible to get out of the library without being noticed. The time of death was 8:40 in the first place, and it's impossible for any of us to kill at that time. Maeda-kun, Uehara-kun, and Mikako-kun went to the third floor, so it's impossible. Satsuki-chan, Kobushikawa-kun, Itori-kun, and I confirmed each other on the second floor, so it's all too far-fetched. And Kinjo and Mikaro were in a state of being beaten by the killer, right? Then who is the killer? A ghost? No, wait. Wouldn't it be possible for him? You, Kinjo. Kinjo? Well, but Kinjo-kun was hit by the killer in the head, right? No, I feel bad for Kinjo, but think of it as in terms of elimination. Kinjo and Mikaro are the only ones who have no alibi at the time of the crime. Then Mikaro's a suspect too? They were in the art room though. It's too far from there, but Kinjo was found right in the library where Yamaguchi was dead. So you're saying that he faked being knocked out and made it a self-made play? But even then, I saw that the wound was quite severe to be a self-play. Interesting phrasing. And I tried to heal it. Wasn't that prepared? If you're guilty in the first place, you'll get executed and die. It's about hurting yourself, but it's about hurting yourself. Isn't it possible for the criminal to get out simply by faking being a victim? Okay, so all you consider me to be the culprit? That's... Do you really think I did the murder? If you say that, it only sounds like an excuse. If you're not the culprit, why don't you refute it logically? Isn't that your specialty? Because I really was fainted, that was lacking information. I'm not able to refute something that you think is reasonable. Well, this is maybe... Kinjo, are you declaring your defeat? I'll ask this for confirmation. Yamaguchi's time of death is 8:40. It was written on the Monokuma file, so it's accurate. And as soon as you went up to the second floor and scattered for investigation, Yamaguchi was already dead in the library? Yes, I guarantee this. You know that if you can't refute it, you'll confess that you're the culprit, right? Kinjo, is he really the culprit? A person of justice or a character who doesn't forgive criminals. I have to leave this emotion and look at things objectively. Is it true that only Kinjo and Mikaro are without alibis and could be committed to the crime? But I should think about this more. It's possible that we concluded this way too early. Alright, we got a non-stop debate. The only one that could do this is Kinjo. You're free to believe me or not, but I was knocked out by the killer. That might be your own trick. He killed Yamaguchi in the library on the spot. You just have to pretend to be stunned by hitting your head. Actually, the only one in the library who could do it at that time is Kinjo. But the wound was real. If the wound was self-inflicted, it's a problem solved. Kinjo's really the killer? Yamaguchi was lying in the library. The person who can kill Yamaguchi in the library is the one who was in the same library. And it looks like there was only Kinjo in there. But is it certain that Yamaguchi was found in the library and died in the library? Let's recall what we investigated. This mystery can be solved too. That probably means that I got the right one, I just have the wrong evidence. That's what I'm thinking, at least. I'm gonna do the plaster weapon. We'll try that. Wrong again. Maybe my theory is wrong too. We're gonna try Haru. Okay, yeah. So the coin doesn't mean anything then. I'm only down to one heart again. Kobashikawa, wait a minute. Is that really true? You're asking if it's true? What do you mean? Kobashikawa just said it. He killed Yamaguchi who was in the library on the spot. That conclusion may have been wrong. What do you mean? It was the same logic as in Maki's case. There's no guarantee the murder took place where the body was found. Huh? Then you mean he wasn't killed in the library? I think that's more likely, because of the bloodstains where they were dragged from the outside. If Yamaguchi was really dead in the library at the beginning of the day, it would be an impossible crime. But where is it? Where did Yamaguchi die? I'm not really sure. Maybe it was in the art room. The art room? That's so far away. The main stage of this case is likely to be the science lab in the library. In fact, it might not be an exaggeration to say that the art room is more important than these two. The reason why the art room is an important place, and why Yamaguchi might have died in the art room other than the library. I saw that tool, and though it is very little, the tool had blood on it. You mean this thing? Right here? Yeah. There were some plaster weapons in the art room. It's made of stone, but if you cut its edge fairly sharply enough and swing it as a weapon, it becomes a spear that you can really cut easily on human flesh. No way. That spear made of stone was the thing that killed Yamaguchi-kun? It probably is, because one of the plaster weapons had a blood spot. Wait a second. Yamaguchi died in the art room, but he was there? Isn't it a bit hard to say he died there? He could have been killed in the library and put back in that place for a while, right? That's not possible. There was a plastic wrap with blood in the trash can from the art room. Plastic wrap? Kinja found it too. You didn't have much time to investigate it. That's right. So I couldn't realize that the plaster weapon had blood on it. I just listened to Maeda's theory and found out its connection. Then how was the plastic wrap used? As Maeda said, if there's blood on the plaster weapon, there's a high chance that the murder weapon is this. The Monokuma file also said something sharp. If so, the killer would have killed Yamaguchi with the wrap around the blade of the shedding. Hey, you said the wrap was covered in blood, right? I mean, is that a tool to prevent blood from getting into the weapon? I realize that, but isn't there something odd? They used a wrap to keep the blood from getting into, but Maeda said that the plaster weapon had blood on it. Isn't that contradictory? I did not mention this. It wasn't just spread, it was faintly spread. That was not an ordinary blood mark, it was an oval, round blood mark, the size of a nail. Whew. How can blood be like that? I see. I understand after listening to Maeda. It was a simple accident to get the blood on the plaster weapon. An accident? I don't know how many people have gone through the trash cans in the art room, but if you've seen the plastic wrap, you know. In the wrap, there was blood all over, except in this one round hole. Oh, I see. If it were the original intention of a criminal, a spot of blood should not have been rubbed on the weapon. Somehow, the part of the wrap was torn. That's why the blood stain remained. Aha. Then as these two said, the culprit killed the Yamaguchi in the art room with a weapon that was in the art room. And then the evidence was put in the trash bin. That's great. These are excellent detectives. Wait a minute. Wait. I know that the wrap prevents blood from splattering, I get it. But that could have been done in the art room. By bringing the wrap to the library, and then to do the killing and dispose of the evidence in the art room. Of course you can see it that way. But it wasn't just a wrap that was in the art room's trash. Maeda, if you found the wrap, you must have seen that thing too. How about you tell the others about that? That thing. You mean something that was thrown in the trash with the plastic wrap? Ooh, what was it again? That was the... We're talking the coat, right? Yeah. Kinjo, you mean Honori's white coat? Indeed, Honori's white coat with a lot of blood. As a result, Honori's body was not wearing a white coat. Why was the coat in such a place? Wait a minute, Kanata-chan is... She died in a terrible manner, but she didn't bleed at all. But there's blood on it? I don't know why Honori's white coat was in the art room. But one thing is certain, the killer used the white coat to wipe the blood off. Wipe it off? But isn't it still there? You can tell just by looking at the shape of the blood. In all likelihood, it's a blood stain that seems to have been rubbed with blood. Welcome, Axo. At some point, you can see that it was used to destroy the evidence. Well, but it was Yamaguchi who shed blood, right? Where do you say they wiped the blood off? It's the art room itself. The art room has traces of blood on the floor. There were traces of blood left. As Kurokawa mentions, there are traces of blood wiped off the floor of the art room. I've even checked with the smell, so I'm sure. I see. I didn't know about it, but there was blood on the floor. If that's the case, it proves that they wiped the blood with the coat. Blood splattered on the floor of the art room? Someone mentioned this before. Only Yamaguchi shed blood. Then, by process of elimination, that means the blood splattered in the art room is when Yamaguchi-kun died in the art room. Indeed, it would be enough for the reason we didn't find these on the second floor. This is Kinjo after all. Even if we investigate for a few minutes, they will remain to solve all the cases. I can only put my reasoning up to this point. Even if Yamaguchi died in the art room, the mystery still remains unsolved. What? Which mystery? No matter where the body died, what you saw with your own eyes was Kakeru Yamaguchi's body, who died in the library. Then the corpse must have been moved by the killer, which in turn means they somehow moved from the art room to the library. Oh, that's a surprise. Mikado helping us. How frustrating it is. Anyway, think carefully. The time of death of Kakeru Yamaguchi and the time until you found the body. Okay. Before starting the non-stop debate, we recommend that you hear about the spell bullet scan. Sure. In the case of an ordinary non-stop debate, multiple truth bullets are given, and it's common to fire a truth bullet suitable for the phone statement. However, in this case, you can scan a bullet from another friend's yellow statement to make it your own. Scan, press X or escape while pointing the yellow text. However, if there's no specific skill for this, a considerable delay is given to the scan. If a friend's words miss during the scan will fail. Also, scanning a truth bullet doesn't mean it's the end, because you got a truth bullet that will be the correct answer. But if you need to refute it by using the scan truth bullet as usual for the contradictory remark, you can't scan any statements either. You can only scan one truth bullet. Don't hesitate to scan if you hear any suspicious yellow comments. Finally, scanned bullets don't disappear until you shoot them for correct or incorrect answers. If you scan the wrong statement, the scan will also disappear or will go back to the beginning. Also, truth bullets other than those that have been scanned won't disappear until they are shot. In other words, in some cases after scanning, you may skip all comments and go back to the beginning. But in the scanned state, your speaking power will not be reduced until it's a mistake. So, you can refute the correct answer with confidence. Alright. Let's see it. What's the mystery? The place where Yamaguchi died is the art room. He was in the art room around 8:40, the time of death. At that time, we were already investigating the second floor. I was always in the hallway. There was no sign of anyone on the third floor. But how did Yamaguchi teleport to the library? That is the mystery. Reasoning is possible, but the contradictions don't stop. Wrong time of death? There's no such chance, because all that's written on the Monokuma file is true. Kinjo doesn't know. We're drawing a blank here. This is bonkers. Why do murders always happen all the time? Day or night, without any cover, they still kill us. And this... Let's think about it. Something might come up. I didn't have a chance to finish reading that one. In our discussion right now, something important seems to have been misunderstood. It's clear that the place where Yamaguchi died is the art room around 8:40, except everything won't fit going back and forth. He did die in the art room, but there were bloodstains in other places and the body was moved to the library. It feels like everything was prepared in advance. There's only one thing that eliminates the possibility. It's the Monokuma file. The file has always been correct about its information, and this is no exception. There's no possibility that the Monokuma file was prepared in advance, as it was informed at the time of death. If that's the case, it's not the Monokuma file that's wrong, it's us. We missed something very vital here. What we missed from the information provided in the Monokuma file compared to the previous Monokuma files. Information that was not added only for this file. If I think carefully about this, I'll reach the answer. Okay, let's see which lines are. The place where Yamaguchi died is the art room. Maybe not. Maybe that was where he was first attacked. I thought if I pressed X multiple times it would load up. Or like if I held it down or something. Let's see if it disappears. Maybe I'll get a hint here. It looks like I have the correct one then. Was that wrong? Because I was wrong. Rip. I can't go on anymore. Where did I go wrong? Alright, we got our first death of the chapter. Let's see if I scan something else, will it act differently? I really thought I had it. Are we doing the weapon? Yeah, okay. Weapon and then coat. I wish I didn't have to repeat all this text. I wish it just took me straight to that minigame. Doesn't look like it's letting me scan it. Oh! What if the crime was committed at 8:40 p.m. instead of 8:40 a.m.? Oh. Okay, I got it. What? Oh, come on. Oh, I didn't scan it right, I guess. I don't know. It's dance music. I remember seeing a gif of like a bunch of Monokumas just dancing on like on the floor or something. It's really funny. I'm just imagining that gif while I'm hearing this music. Dance party. Dance party. Okay, I got it that time. I think I just have to press it multiple times or something. Okay. So it's not Ueharu's statement. So it's gotta be Kinjo's statement then. Oh. Okay, I got it. There we go. There we go. Day and night. Day and night. Guys, wait a sec. Wait, there's something that bothers me. What's wrong, Maeda-kun? Does anyone have Yamaguchi's Monokuma file? I brought it the last time I checked. Why? Did you think of anything? Kinjo, read what was written in that Monokuma file without any mistake, please. Okay. The estimated time of death of the victim, Kakeru Yamaguchi, is about 8:40. Found in the library. Sharply cut from back neck to uvula. The weapon is presumed to be something sharp. Nothing other than visible trauma. Something's weird, is it not? Something is weird? What is? In this Monokuma file, it says the time of death is 8:40, but it doesn't say at all whether it's AM or PM. Yeah, huh? Huh? It's better than the police, am I right? It was like that? I don't understand what they're talking about. Teruya and Kobazing too. Explain it to us. What? Hey, why do you mention me and make me a fool? Did you understand then? Please explain, Maeda. Okay, think for a moment. In the Monokuma file we've seen so far clearly indicated whether it was in the morning or afternoon. The victim is Kyoka Maki. The estimated time of death is about 6 a.m. The body was found with her neck hanging in the women's bathroom in the dorm area. The cause of death is a bruise in her occipital region. She had massive bleeding. The victim is Tomori Kazuna. Estimated time of death is 9:30 p.m. The body was found in the switchium with the power room on, the second floor of the school. There is a long torn wound on her stomach and the bleeding is massive. The cause of death is a cut wound on the esophagus caused by a knife. Oh, it really is. AM or PM are not written in this Monokuma file. It was a blind spot. I'm sure the Monokuma file is the only one that says the truth. But it's not being mistaken, rather it was us. It's not 8:40 a.m. The real time of the incident took place the night before. It was 8:40 p.m. Yamaguchi-kun, you're saying he was already dead since last night when we were walking around? Wait a minute. Are we jumping too fast here? Just because it doesn't say whether it was morning or night, it's not enough to conclude that he died the night before. Maybe Monokuma forgot and missed it in the first place. No, it's not a jump or a leap. Rather, this case cannot be solved unless it's this way. At first I was fainted, so I thought I was lacking information, but considering the premise of 8:40 p.m., now the back and front have started to fit. Still. Who do you want to ask Monokuma then? Huh? Until now, the Monokuma files always recorded the time of death in the morning or afternoon, but is there any reason for omitting that point only on this occasion? Well, that's... no comment. If you ask me that, I'll be the one in the trial. I've said it again and again. I've decided not to meddle with the trial. So this is a big no. The Monokuma file always gives only the right information, and based on it, helpful for reasoning. It's kind of a service system. But now, because of the Monokuma file, it's causing confusion and misinformation. It becomes a useless debate. I think this is a problem, Monokuma. A problem that I can't help you now. It's not saying anything wrong. I just can't tell you. I'm pretty sure this is it. Monokuma files always and only tell the truth, but some may have felt it through this incident so far, right? According to the content of each case, the description of the content is adjusted accordingly and properly orchestrated. It was orchestrated? In simpler terms, it's like this. For example, let's say the killer wants to implement a whole body trick for that purpose. In that case, the Monokuma file would be, it was drunk with XXX. Indeed, it's a delicate system that makes me sick. That's it. The Monokuma file is only a tool that helps in the investigation, not a tool to tell the truth. Because then you guys will pay the price. Seems like you wouldn't know what? I don't think I pressed it twice there, but sure. That's why the timelines are subtracted from the Monokuma file. Very strange, isn't it? What's that? I can't hear you. I don't know anything. La 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 la. It was bound to happen. In fact, because of this time trick, it almost got us very badly, where we were distractedly wrong at these moments. No, it certainly looks that way. But are we really sure? Without certain evidence, it could just be interference based on Monokuma's words and circumstances. Why are you so negative? Did someone stab you? It's not like that, I just wanted to be sure. Sure, it's not like we don't understand it. Well, if that's the case, I'll be sure to submit evidence as Haruhiko said. Shall we try it? You have evidence? Yes, before I used to think about whether this was done in the morning or at night, but I knew the timeline trick was, and there was some solid evidence to support that claim. The questions I felt during the investigation, I could feel it while I was examining Yamaguchi's body. If Yamaguchi was dead for a day, the cause of these questions are understandable. The question is... His stopped bleeding. Yeah. The proof is simple. Yamaguchi's wound was not bleeding. Huh? That's not it, is it? It was because the library was a bloodbath? That's obvious that's the case, but anyone who examined the body in detail could have felt a sense of something misplaced. The blood is recent in contrast to the library. Yamaguchi himself, though, did not have a single drop of blood coming up from his neck cut. You saw that? I didn't really check the body in detail. Definitely. It felt strange too, when I heard about Yamaguchi's time of death and thought about it again, if things connected in some way. Then let's sort this out. The blood was far gone. Is that what it means? It's been some time since he died, so the blood already stopped? Oh, I see. It supports the idea that Yamaguchi-kun was already dead yesterday evening. Wait a minute, please. Sure, that may be true, but what happened to the blood in the library? Blood was not dry, and it was just flowing. Blood in the library was just a diversion for the criminal to make us think like Yamaguchi had just died. The blood that filled the library was probably what the killer used. The tool will be in the infirmary. I'm talking about the blood packs. Or the missing blood packs in this case. Do you know there's a refrigerator in the infirmary that keeps blood transfusion packs? Oh, it was for storage of the transfusion packs. I think I brought one for the injured man to drink while he was thirsty. No, inside there are a lot of transfusion packs for each blood type. I found out during my investigation this morning that the blood transfusion packs inside were gone. I didn't know because I couldn't go to the infirmary, as Maeda said. The blood in the library. It was a pool of blood made by transfusion packs. It was a room of lies. It was like that. It was a little weird when you think about it. I think I saw too much blood. In the beginning, Yamaguchi must have been killed in the art room, but it's also strange that there was so much blood in the library. It can be said that they disguised him too much. From there, when it comes to the time of death, I have a guess. Maeda, do you remember? When the trial was about to begin, we met in the hallway on the second floor when I just woke up. Are you talking about last time? Yeah, I definitely told Maeda about this. Right before being stunned by the killer, I saw Yamaguchi bleeding and fainted. Wait, obviously Kinzo was attacked, but of course it was at nighttime yesterday. Then Yamaguchi-kun was... Monokuma files, some bleeding blood transfusion packs, and what Kinjo mentioned, I can only say that the evidence comes out one after another up until this point, so we can make sure of things properly. Alright. Now everyone knows for sure, Kakero Yamaguchi was not dead at 8:40 this morning, but 8:40 p.m. yesterday at night. So that's how it happened. Pretty good, Incompetent. I'll praise you on this one. I mean, you were locked up anyway, so you didn't know that. Shut up. Don't pretend to be all smartass. But oh well. I'll admit it for a little bit. We know the killer, as I said before, but I was not sure about the trick. I'll tell you that my gaze on the Incompetent has changed about 0.1%. That was a compliment, right? I guess all the mysteries have been solved because Yamaguchi was already dead yesterday. The trick for Inori was solved too. That also includes the movement of the blood spots and corpses all over the place, indeed solved too. However, the real issue begins after this. Then who is the killer? That's the problem we have on our hands. It's far too early to be happy just yet. Even if we solve all the tricks, mysteries, and questions, we don't know the culprit, then this is a bad outcome. But if the contents are so far are true, the criminal deliberately wanted to make 8:40 p.m. and 8:40 a.m. different. The timing was thoroughly calculated for the murder, right? Also, spraying a blood transfusion pack even had the guts to kill 2 people and attack up to 3 people in a single night. Yeah, this case is somewhat impulsive and different from the 2 previous cases, which are considered semi-accidents. I'm certain this was a planned murder committed with a crime plan. Kinjo's words are correct. Unlike the previous 2 incidents, I feel a firm malice. Are they really among us? A killer who carefully murdered like this? Among us? Kinjo, what should we do in this case? If all the tricks are really solved, and if you only need to find the culprit, you should start with an alibi. Since you know the real time of death of Yamaguchi, you will naturally know who the killer is. If you look at each alibi based on this... Alibi, you mean? Let's weigh each one. First of all, tell me what everyone did at 8:40 p.m. yesterday, the real time of death of Yamaguchi. Yesterday at 8:40 p.m.? At that time, surely, wasn't it the time Tyra was making a fuss? Tyra's fuss? Oh yeah, that. Tyra tried to kill herself last night. It's no big deal. Tyra just got hurt a little. I was there. It's irrelevant for the case. Mikako-chan. Right, so that leaves Kurokawa, Otori, and I, who were there. Uranami, Kobushikawa, and the 5 of us were supporting Tyra. When I recall that, I think it was around 8:40 p.m. Okay, if so, I think you can remove the 6 of you from the suspect line. Good, so the only ones left are the psycho cop, the priest, and me. But isn't it weird? Those 3 were 3 people who passed out because they were aimed by the criminal. It's nothing you need to think about too hard. I don't want to doubt this, but in this case, there's only one possibility. There's proof that one of these testimonies was lying. Whew. In between these 3, someone lied? First, let's be honest as possible. Why don't you tell us what you were doing at 8:40 p.m. yesterday? I was in the 3rd floor area. I was hanging out on the casino side, but unfortunately, no one could testify for this, but I was also checking the front door, but as I mentioned, I can't prove it, because there was no one around. Same here. What, there were no witnesses for the other 3? So you're saying all 3 are possible to commit the crime? Well, one of the 3 was not attacked by the killer, but what if they pretended to be attacked? I'm sorry, but Kenjo, Uehara, and Nakaro, can you tell us the situation when you guys were attacked at dawn? If this solves your doubts. When it was a little over 3 a.m., I was on the way from the 1st floor to the 2nd floor, and I usually went to the library side, so I moved there. When I went inside, Yamaguchi was down. I figured he was already dead by now, but at that time, it was necessary to find out if Yamaguchi was simply stunned or dead. As I was trying to approach him... You were ambushed? Right. Normally I'm not always nervous, but I think I got caught off guard for a moment. Probably the killer aimed for that point, and they showed Yamaguchi's body to me. They showed it to you? Yeah, do you understand what I mean? Since Yamaguchi had been moved to the library, it was not as bloody as it is now. And in addition to simply confused with Inori, they used it as bait to attract Kinjo. I was wondering why I was only stunned and not killed, but they will regret it. In return for keeping me alive, I will find them out and they'll be punished accordingly. It was a similar situation for me, but it was probably earlier than Kinjo's. I was attacked near the stairs while trying to go up the 3rd floor. How about you, Mikaro? Well, it's roughly similar. I was attacked near the art room and lost my sight somehow, and then when I woke up, I was inside the locker. But it all happened in the middle of the night, right? Now it seems all 3 people that were attacked at different times, and there are no witnesses, so how do we know who the killer is? No, even if we were just attacked, doesn't it seem a little different in the method? The method? The attack method. Kenjo and Uehara, I know that we saw them get directly beaten and bleeding, but Mikaro was not bleeding nor assaulted in any way. Then you think Mikaro's the culprit? Do I have to tell you every little thing now? It's chloroform, that's what they did. Chloro what? So it was chloroform they used. It sounds rare, but it comes out in use for a lot of things. For example, taping your mouth with a handkerchief. That would be an effective way to get someone in a coma. You mean that stuff is in this school too? If you had searched the science lab with even a little interest, you would have been able to find it right away. But it seems your stupidity is not going anywhere. Remember the moment just before the attack. Must have been a handkerchief that was put in my mouth. Okay, if that's what it was. Who really is the culprit? When it comes to the alibi, one of those 3 are still a suspect. Don't think about the process. Let's consider the cause. Why were they ambushed, and why only them? Why them? Well, the killer's a little strange. It wasn't enough to kill 2 people, so they attacked 3 other people. If we put it simply, isn't it because they wander around nighttime? And wow, if they had some alarm for vibrations prepared in advance, or if the corpses were found, it would be a headache. Maybe, but I have a little guess. I didn't say this because I wasn't sure, but the cell phone that was used to kill Inori disappeared after I was attacked. I mentioned this to you, Maeda, didn't I? Oh yeah. You were looking for it in the 2nd floor hallway, right? Oh yeah, Uehara-kun had the tools necessary for the crime, so they attacked him and took it from him. I see. Then there was a reason for Uehara's ambush. If that's the reason, why did they attack Kinjo? If Kinjo moves normally at the time of the crime, it would be difficult for the culprit to get out. Plus, he's the ultimate police officer, right? There was also the results of the 2 previous cases. Actually, in this case, Kinjo is struggling, like, because the trial began without Kinjo collecting enough clues, right? Even though I did research properly, your tone has seemed to pass it all to me. Hey, let's not do that. If the trial fails, Kinjo's life is also at risk, you know? Well, it seems like I can see the truth after coming this far. Huh? I've been suspicious of it, but when I think about the information I've got so far, I can see the silhouette of only one person, the killer. I believe some of you may have realized it. So how about it? The killer's silhouette can be seen. What do you mean, Kinjo-kun? You know the killer? Everyone's remarks so far with the outline of the case and the alibis confirmed makes a person who's making contradictory statements. That person is the true culprit of this case. Contradictory statements? Is it them? If the alibis were all true, the culprit must be one. Between Kinjo, Uehara, and Nakata, the one who made the contradictory statement among them is... I'm gonna guess Picaro. I'm wrong! Is it Uehara then? It's Uehara. So, he probably lied about not knowing how to use the cell phone then. Don't tell me, was it you? Uehara? Kenji Uehara? Huh? What in blazes? And we just got to the intermission. Given that the last class trial took me 6 hours, I think maybe it would be good to stop it here. And we're talking from like the body discovery and the investigation to the end of the class trial. We've been going for about 3.5 right now. I think I'll probably just continue this on Friday, honestly. This was a lot of fun. I think I'm good for now. We're gonna split it up into 3 parts this time. I don't think I need to go for like another 3 hours. Or however long it'll be. So I'll probably continue this on Friday then. That said, we got a new video coming out on Tuesday. And if you become a YouTube member, memberships are $1. You'll have access to the video right away, as soon as I publish it to YouTube. Which I did just before I started this stream. So, again, I saved. We're at the intermission. I'm good on this. We'll continue on Friday. I know maybe not everybody can access it at that time. That's fine. We do have the archives up. I'm going to stream as often as I can over the summer because my schedule is going to condense in the fall. It's going to be tougher to stream. So, with that, I bid you all adieu. I'm gonna take off now. You guys have a good one. Peace out.